And we are live. What's up, everybody?
Good evening.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So we are
Hi.
the Sleepless Knights. In case you're unaware, we're gonna play some D&D today. We have a couple announcements to get through ahead of time, though. First up, we have a Discord server, which is the server we're in right now. You guys can come hang out with us. Not on stream, not on this call,
Yeah.
preferably. But you can come and join, talk with other viewers. The link is below this video. Just click the Discord link. Should invite you right in. Gonna have to read the rules, and click that little check at the bottom to start chatting. But then you should be good to go.
Be a good time.
Yeah, and I believe we got some new followers. If Mac.
We do. Since last stream, we have 4 new followers. That underscore Twiggy underscore guy. Nice. Thanks for making me take an hour to say that name. Ramron64. Caveman Wallace, which I was just telling Gordon sounds like a British caveman. Caveman Wallace.
Caveman Wallace,
And
eh?
and Heavenly Gunner. Welcome to the stream, guys. Thanks for sticking around.
All right. Yeah, we also had some Instagram updates. From Liam. Liam, you got some Instagram stuff going on?
So not really much, but I guess sort of the biggest thing at the moment. There will, of course, be a new character post coming up for the newest member of the party that will be joining us. So make sure to check out our Instagram next week, most of course Wednesday, for you to find out all the fun little info, likes, dislikes. Also check out the playlist, of course, when that goes up next Wednesday for Belkin.
Oh yeah. And we are going to have some new emotes. We do not have them up yet. They may come up in the middle of the stream. I was having some trouble uploading them because of file size, but subscribers, keep an eye out for that. Unfortunately, we do have to have them subscriber only for now. So yeah, keep an eye out. If they do come up during the stream, I'll send a message out from the Sleepless Nights channel and let you guys know what we got going on. But I think that sets us up. If everyone's ready to roll some dice.
Let's get it.
Doesn't sound like you guys are ready. Alrighty. Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing?
Doing well.
Good.
Ready. So good.
Oh, there was so much to talk about, so I'm gonna try to keep this briefer. Briefs.
Nice. Boxers.
Boxers are brief.
Off to a great start. this is gonna be a great session.
Oh boy.
So we continued our adventure as you guys were in the small logging town of Elbulder, here in the region of Cespish. We continued our conversation with Cade Snow. Mainly, the conversation between Castus and Cade, where Cade kind of hinted at recognizing Castus from a past experience with his acquaintance. I'll just call him Albus Tinkertop. Recognizing Castus as a younger version, calling him the boy that was at Tinkertop's, essentially, and a few other things. Pretty much discussing, I'm not going to say the terms of his contract, but a way out of his contract is for Castus to close the Black Star Gate. The reason Cade wants it closed wasn't really disclosed to all of you, other than that would be the one way that Castus would be able to break his contract, or at least relinquish his services to from Cade. A brief conversation was had with the rest of you from Cade until he decided to vanish once again. The rest of you discussing what had just transpired between you and the member of the Five Blades. Seemingly kind of frustrated with the information, or lack thereof, that you got from the man that he promised so much for you all to go out into the Chonda Wood and pretty much risk your lives just for all of this. So sorry, I will turn my mic up. Thank you, Dory. Am I better now? Can you guys hear me? Thank you. I was adjusting things earlier. Anyway, so the discussion was had between all of you, and the choice was made to head back to the happy home, where you once again rented a room, and had a discussion, pretty much about what's going to happen next, where you guys were going to decide to go, how you were going to find information about where this Black Star Gate might be, pretty much the next steps of the party. Some discussion was had, maybe heading to Airbar to find maybe somebody more knowledgeable or a library of some sorts. But it was really just talks of what's going to be happening next. Right before, we had a small interruption from a very fond party member of ours, Adlith. Kind of interrupted the discussion about what you guys were going to do, with some news that she decided that she was going to, or well, she felt her place was here in the Chondawood, and that she was going to return to the Green Braids camp, to aid them in the protection of the forest and maybe even the restoration of the tree that you once, or that you guys had visited. Kind of shocking all of you, at the point, at that moment, kind of stopping the conversation that was being had in its tracks. Most of you being understanding, some heartfelt moments were had. Castus noticed something, as goodbyes, and I kind of wrapping this conversation up. You noticed a few things. A voice that you haven't heard in a long time, kind of giving you some guidance that you needed to protect Adlith, and may even possibly go with her, on her journey into the Chondawood. Kind of revealing to the party that you are also going to leave, and tag along with Adlith. Some discussion was had. Adlith bestowed upon you some gifts, and some responsibilities. The plant that you acquired, a few other different little things. But she says her goodbyes, turns and leaves. But before she does, Othir, I might be getting these a little out of order, but I'm just remembering it as it is without looking at my notes. Othir and Redrick decided to have a conversation, before the party decided to go downstairs. Essentially, Othir, seemingly very disappointed in Redrick, that he would not feel the calling to follow Adlith on her journey, and to protect her at all costs. Kind of dropping some hints at his, I'll say it's a heritage, but his, the way he looks, his curse that he kind of bears on his body, the dragon scales, and the way he's able to change into a dragon-like form. Obviously disappointed. Redrick not seeming to give a care in the world. But that conversation was had. The mayor, or not the mayor, but the sheriff of the mayor, decided to show up at your door with a little knock, saying that there was a guest waiting to speak with all of you, downstairs. Eventually, you all made your way downstairs, and a very, very tall, odd-looking gentleman, with bronze skin, completely bald, and these odd, kind of prominent, glowing eyes, sat across the table from the sheriff pod, and bade you all sit around him, pretty much trying to get some information, about what exactly had happened at the tree and in the Chondawood. At first, you were all a little reluctant to give any information away, but decided to trust him after he bestowed upon you a little bit of information, about the Black Star Gate, telling you that this gate caused a lot of destruction, kind of giving you the small little history of Elbulder, and how the place was once, before the spell plague, plagued with monsters and ruined, because of this Black Star Gate. He didn't really give you information about where exactly it was, but he did say he was going to set you all up with a contact named Velkin, who was to meet you here within 3 days. to take you there. He also issued you the task, saying that the Order of the Blue Flame was spread rather thin, and issued you the task to closing the gate as well, kind of aligning with Cassis's task of wanting to go get rid of this contract and close the gate as well. You all agreed, and because you did so, he gifted you some very shiny mithril armor that you were excited. I believe Cassis took? Question mark? I believe Cassis has. He eventually bade his goodbyes. Chasing after him, Isaiah wanted to look into a specific somebody that he was to look into, and he promised that he would eventually reach out with word if he was to find this character that you were looking for. Now, wrapping back around to Adla's final goodbyes, Castus, before you joined Adlith into the Chondawood, you went on a little chat with Calder, just discussing things, saying that you guys kind of felt a little bit more of a bond, kind of surprisingly so, sharing a little bit more of a bond than you thought you would with one another, before eventually a guest joined you. Behind the sounds of large beating wings, you heard the of 2 feet landing on the dirt behind you, in an odd voice, asking to talk to Castus. Which you followed this individual, kind of cloaked similarly to those that Calder had seen in his visions before. This gentleman spoke to you, kind of in a light, kinder voice, and offered you a trade, essentially. That he would offer to protect Adlith on her journey if you were to give up a little bit of yourself to essentially aid him in that process. You thought about it, and you eventually agreed, as he pulled something from deep within inside you, kind of making you lose your breath for a moment and dropping you to your knees. The figure disappeared as you kind of came to. And as you turned to say, kind of inform Adlith of your decision, you saw these beautiful angel wings kind of wrap around her and envelop her, just giving you confidence that she will be protected in her journey. Backing up a little bit, the gentleman that was in the happy home, the member of the Blue Order, did hand Adlith an envelope and told her to that he had a specific task for her. So, with that confidence, and Othar by her side, Adlith made her way into the Chondawood. Never to be seen again as she fell into a sinkhole and drowned. That's pretty much where we wrapped up. Maybe a little bit of conversation was had at the end but you all now find yourselves in Elbulder, a late night at the happy home. You have 3 days to do what you wish, to go where you will. So what do you guys want to do?
Who would you like to start?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be an individual thing. It just can just be.
David, I feel.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
go for it.
Yeah, I know that Cassis would want to do 3 things, and if everyone else want to go first, that's fine. But I just know that I have 3 things I want to do.
I have 4 on my list.
I have like 5, I think. Okay, let's just left to right on the Discord, top to bottom. David, you're up.
Yep.
All right. The first thing I would do is one of the last things we did was discuss money and break out the money that Redrick has been holding for us.
I don't see the issue here.
Yeah. After that, Isaiah would probably go to Ren and hand her the 2 scrolls. Say, explain what they are, that they're worth like 500 to 1,000 gold, and ask her if she could maybe look around, see if you can find a place to sell these. At the absolute worst, I think maybe Cade might buy them. But if we can get rid of them, that's a great boon to the party.
Yeah, I mean, I could always try.
All right. If you need any help, just let me know. But I make things. I don't sell them. That was always the other half of the business I wasn't good at.
Yeah,
And
I've
which
got a little
scrolls are you handing
experience.
her?
We got 2: Vicious Mockery and True Strike. Oh, and there was a little statue with him. I don't know if it's worth anything, but it's got a little gem in the center. I mean, I don't know if any of us ever actually figured out who it is, but gem might be worth something at least. But aside from that, the 2 big things are working on ammo, probably with Castus now that he's here.
It's one of my things.
Yep. Have that as a side project, like, a little bit of time each day. I'm putting some ammo together. He will spend a good amount of time with grandfather, taking all the little joints and all the little connections between the pieces and mending them better, getting them tighter and more permanent together, and trying to work on some sort of energy storage separate from him, because he's got to give it a little bit every morning. So he's trying to see if he can figure out something to do a little bit more permanent than that. And then he's going to go look for he's probably going to go to a blacksmith or something like that in town. Somebody who does weapons. And see if he can find, depending on whether or not we actually get the scroll sold, a good weapon or a real shit weapon he can fix up in a couple of days.
Okay, so that's a lot.
Yeah.
So, you can pretty much do a couple. I would say a couple of things we can weave into one thing. There is a foundry in town. There is no town blacksmith, but more of a foundry. You go there, maybe even by yourself. You see a large older man. Large meaning he is about as tall as Eggball, but just as round. He is a very round man. He has, like, you can tell, forge burnt skin. The man's has no hair amongst his forearms or his chest that he wears bare under a large apron. He has white hair that's kind of he's balding pretty much towards the center of his head, but he has a large ponytail that kind of flows down into his back. You can see he wears smithing gloves. You can see there's a lot of brickwork being done here, but you do see a hammer and anvil and a forge separate of the foundry itself. You walk in and you can see him working hard, casting some brick. Not really paying you much attention. It is very hot, musty. It's almost like a large warehouse-like building, rather than like a building you would find in town. You have to make your way towards the river a little bit to find this place. But noticing you entering his shop, he kind of stands up tall. Oh, hello there. How can I help you?
Yes. Hello. Sorry to interrupt. I know how it can be working. My name's Isaiah. I'm new to town. He reaches out a hand with all the similar burned hair and everything.
He kind of reaches his hand out and says, "The name's Fane."
Fane?
Fane.
Pleasure to meet you. I got a quick question. Well, maybe a purchase if you're selling. See, I've been walking around with my hammers. Used them for years. They do good work for me. Never met a nail they couldn't put in place, right? But lately I've been getting into trouble of a more violent nature, and they're just a little too small. I was hoping for something a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier. I don't want to swing it all day. That's what these little guys are for. They do perfect work, but if you've got anything bigger, heavier,
Are you looking for something like a sledge?
more like, a warhammer, or even like a sword, I guess I could use. If you've
Or
got
do you want a
anything,
sword or a hammer?
what have you got?
Well, I can make you whatever you need. It just takes some time.
You got any stock instead? I'm a little light on the gold, but I could turn most things myself if you let me buy the materials.
You're gonna make it yourself.
I made these. I made him. Oh, and I made him too.
Kind of stands up even straighter. Looks behind you. That's rather impressive.
Thank you.
How did you get it to walk?
There was there's a bit of forest trickery in there, but tamed for the most part.
Well, I'll go look what I have, but if you're looking for Warhammer, it will take some time to make. I may have some spare steel I could easily forge into something. A day or two.
What about with help? Go a little bit quicker.
Give me a persuasion check.
One of these days. One of these days, we're gonna have somebody. Holy crap, he's actually proficient. That's a 12 plus 1, so 13.
I think I'd be able to do it a little bit quicker, alone.
Fair enough. How much, though?
How quick are you looking to get it done?
Got about maybe 3 days before I have to leave. So, 2-day turnaround.
And I thinks for a moment. A single gold piece will do. It's not gonna be anything fancy.
Oh, I could do that myself. Don't you worry about that. As long as it stays together, that's what I need.
Anything else?
Not right now, but let's see how this comes out. I might be coming back more often.
You may need steel for the iron or however you would want to cast or forge Cassis's ammunition.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, while I'm here, as long as you've got any stock lying around, even some slag off the, I can do some. I got I like to play around a bit, so I got a couple other designs I'm working on. Doesn't have to be too fancy, just some scrap.
Scrap will cost you 5 silver.
I can do that.
I'll get that for you real quick. And he kind of turns
Perfect.
around, heavy thudded boots, heads deeper into the foundry, returns with a large-sized sack of just metal scrap iron and stuff that he probably used to forge different things. Inside this building, you don't see a wall of or a weapon rack or anything like that. You don't see really weapons. Though if the town would be in the need of them, you're assuming that he would be able to forge them. He probably doesn't do it normally. His probably work is mainly in machinery or bricklaying, doing other things like that. But it is offered to you. So you hand over the 1 gold and 5 silver.
I'll do that, and I'll be like, Ook, if you could grab that. Oh, and say hi.
He just throws it on his back and just stares at Thane. Does it talk?
I haven't quite got that far yet. But he gets in the way of a lot of bad guys.
I'm sure. I'll bring him around if he can talk. Next time. Maybe get you a discount.
I'll see what I can do then. Well, excellent.
Yeah, so mark that gold and
Yep.
5 silver off.
And bag o slag.
Bag of slag.
Bag o slag.
Okay,
what they called me in
so
high school.
I would say to be able to forge the ammunition and to work on grandfather's going to be 2 separate tinkering checks.
Okay.
He would like to make me the first one for the ammunition, the second one for your friend, grandfather.
If Castus is helping with the ammunition, could I argue for advantage?
Sure.
I would help out. Proficient in tinkering.
And this is intelligence?
Yes.
Well, advantage is a good thing, so I don't have to use that 1. I'll use the 8 instead. So it's a total of 13.
Okay. With a 13, you do manage to get about 15 crude pieces of ammunition that would easily work in Cass's weapon, though it does take you the majority of the 3 days to do so.
Yep.
A good part of 2. Mainly because you're getting used to using the forge that is inside Ook. Not really used to the flame that's inside it. It's odd because it doesn't burn hot, but whenever you insert the piece of like slag in there, it does heat up and melt. Just kind of getting used to that system. So go ahead and roll me another one for grandfather. The DC is definitely going to be higher since
Yep.
you're going to be spending a lot of time on this ammunition. Dun dun dun.
If I
And
help, will that advantage?
Not with grandfather.
not with grandfather.
Okay.
That's a total of 6.
Ooh.
6.
AKA a 1.
Broken.
By the time that you can even think about it, 3 days are up.
Yep.
You're just 2 enveloped, kind of working closely with Castus.
And I've been, as he's working with Castus, he's making a lot of notes about how the ammunition and the gun work
Right.
and how they're built, and taking your notes and making them good. No, I mean, making them his own. Yep.
They're partly Castus notes. A lot of them are Aldous notes. So
Ooh.
because actually, while you're having the conversation, he'd be like, "That book I kind of gave to you. I'm gonna hold on to that. There's some stuff in there I might want your help to kind of put together at some point."
Of course. No, that's that was a going away present, and you're not going away. So, of course, that's yours. But I will let me just finish copying. Yeah, okay. That's probably part of why it takes so long, because he's never seen a gun before, so he's got to figure all this crap out at the same time.
All right, Redrick, do you have anything
I
special
do.
you want to do by yourself?
Got a couple things. So first up, books. Is there anywhere that has books, sells books in town?
Depending on what kind of books
Books.
you would want. If you're looking for, like, I don't know, what kind of books are you looking for?
Specifically an adventure novel, if I could find one. But
Yeah, so there is a general store. It's run by an older gentleman. His name's Salisbury. He has all sorts of children novels and stuff that he could sell you. You could definitely find, depending on how many you would want.
all right. Are they all children's novels? Are there any more like adult ones?
Yeah, he
just
has,
like a story.
if you're
book.
looking for, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll grab.
Doesn't have too big of a selection, but he has all sorts of things.
Gotcha. I'll grab one of those off him. And I also have a question for him. Does he have any books written in Elvish? Or actually, let's go with Giant.
I don't think so. I could look. Those are rather rare.
Anything not normal, not common. You got anything interesting?
Not normal. Thinks for a moment. No.
All right.
This is about all I got. This one here, it's called The Grace in the Tomb.
Grace and the Doom. Sounds good. I'll kind of like look at the first page and just like close it. How much?
Just for this one,
Yeah, just the one.
silver.
There you are, my good friend.
Quickly grabs it, pockets it. Anything else I could get you?
Just that for now.
Well, it's a good read. I've perused it a few times.
Yeah, see ya.
You don't look like much of a reader.
Slam the door. All right, that's number one on my shopping list. I also need maybe also at the general store.
You walk back in. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Some kind of like toy, like a children's toy, like a top or something.
Okay. Let me see here.
I know that one's gonna be maybe hard.
Yeah, so what he does have is a little bit different. He has a few like ceramic figurines and some things made of thicker glass, um, like things of different types of animals and creatures. Is the closest probably thing that he has to a toy.
All right, I'll grab one of those. I'm not picky.
All right, he charged you a gold for it.
Okay.
It is a glass figurine of what looks like a large horse.
Sweet.
Just made of this like opaque, raw black and green glass.
All right. And I also need to go to the blacksmith or the
Okay.
Or I forget the word you said after that. So probably just bump into
Foundry.
Isaiah on the way out the foundry.
Mm-hmm. What are you looking to get?
Looking for a just like scrap dagger. Like it does not have to be fancy at all. Like just a leftover, forged it when he was like 5 and doesn't want it anymore. Dagger.
Okay. Yeah, we charge you a few silver for it. About 3 silver pieces.
All right. And
Large
I
speed.
also need it to be blunted. If it's not.
Blunted.
Yeah.
Okay. Probably charge you an extra, a few copper to do that for you. So 5 copper.
All right.
3 silver and 5 copper to give you a blunted dagger.
All right. And other than that, I just need to find a really cool looking rock.
Give me an investigation check.
All right. A 20, not natural.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
So, you make your way towards the river, actually, and you're finding your way down there. You take some time. It only takes you about an hour until you find an interesting rock. Specifically, it is this black, really well polished stone that was sitting in the riverbed. It's about this big, round, but it has this gleam. You can see all of the minerals kind of shining as you twirl it in the sun. But it is black, but it almost looks like it has speckles of silver and gold and other different colors within it.
All right. I'll kind of look at it like, nice. Just pocket it. And with those items, I need to have them sent somewhere. I'm
Okay.
gonna guess you know where.
Mhm.
Most likely. But I kind of want to do it through Cade. Like I think he'll
Through
get them
Cade.
there. Yeah, if he has like some way of shipping something, like I want to go meet with Cade and be like, "Hey, can you get this to Arbor safely?" Like tell him like where I need it to go.
So you head to the Arrow, investigating a little bit, and you stop there a few days. And every time you stop, Cade is not present. The Arrow is locked tight.
All right. In that case, probably just find a courier somewhere, if I
Okay.
could.
If you're shipping it to Erebar, it's going to cost you at least 2 gold pieces for it to be packaged and sent.
All right. Can I not? There we go. So 2 more gold. And then I will throw all of it together in like a pouch. Toss in that 20 gold I put in my boot. Write a little note that says like, gotta lead, might be back sooner than later. And and tell the guy that if he loses it or doesn't make it, he dies. Whoever this courier is. And then give him
Okay.
2 gold.
Give me an intimidation check.
All right. That's an 11.
An
'Cause
11.
my charisma is very low.
Kind of like gives you like the okay, sure, buddy, and takes your gold. And
Go ahead and test it.
he leaves that day at least. You feel confident that he's making his way.
All right, and I believe you know where that's going. Oh, and the flower I got from the herbalist shop is going in there too.
Okay,
Gotcha.
very cool.
And that's pretty much everything for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me. Cassis, you're up.
Okay. Cassidus, what he's going to do basically after the day after the morning, early morning after he loses part of his ability, he is going to first off. There is like a post office, as Redrick has shown. There is some sort of courier service that can.
Yeah, it's actually like it's actually a small exchange building,
Okay.
what the town would consider a bank, that they also hire couriers through.
Okay, so he's going to go there. He's going to try to sneak out as early as possible so no one knows where he's going.
Okay.
And so he's going to go to the courier service first. And there is a letter I'm actually going to send you via message.
If you're sneaking out, by the way, I need you to make me a stealth check.
Of course, with my advantage. Oh, that's a nat 20 to go with skills, stealth. That's a 25 total.
You sneak out without anybody knowing.
Cool.
Go ahead and send me the letter.
All right. I'm sending this.
I love
now.
pre-typed up letters and everything, man. It's good.
I put a little bit of effort into it.
Look at this.
So he is going to go to the courier and say, can you get this letter over to Mimp as soon as possible?
That's a far, long way to travel. 5 gold.
As quickly as you can.
6 gold. For quickly.
And he will deposit, he will give them, because this is very important to him, he's going to give him 7 gold and kind of give him that 1 extra gold, the extra kind of look of like, please hurry.
Very quick.
I will
Pockets
remove. All right, that is 7 gold. Then move. Okay. And with that, he is now 7 gold lighter. But hopeful that it'll get to where it needs to go. After that, he is going to make I believe it's an hour walk to the Temple of Ilmater.
Okay.
Where he's going to kind of try to knock on the door and try to get someone's attention. Go boom, 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 boom.
Can I follow him and spy on him? I'm just kidding.
He went by himself, all sneaky like.
25, nat 20.
Knocking on the door this early morning, gets you an answer, from a brother that you have not met before. This gentleman has close-cut hair, black hair, kind of combed over to the side, clean shaven, some blackish blue eyes. Hello there.
Hi, is Master Mystel available? It's kind of important. I kind of need to talk to him.
Please come in. He opens the door.
Thank you. I kind of take a look behind me, make sure no one's following me, and then we'll step in.
Perception check.
That's a feast or famine. That's a 4.
You see Calder in the bushes.
There you go. Calder's in the bushes. The door opens and he eventually closes it. One moment, I will retrieve him for you.
Thank you. And as he's waiting, I'm going to reach into my pouch. It's kind of a one of the bullets I have on me, and I cast light. Does it work?
It does not.
Damn it. Okay. All right. That's what I thought would happen. All right. So I'll put the bullet back and just wait.
It doesn't take too long before you see a Master Mystel um, reveal himself with the same walking cane that you have seen before. The older gentleman huddled over, covered it completely head to toe in scars, a scar kind of causing one eye to be white and milky, blinded one eye. Um, he's oddly dressed, Master Mystel. Not in his normal robes that you have seen the other brothers be dressed in, but he looks like he is in basic commoner's clothes. Basic set of trousers, a dirty white kind of shirt that kind of cuts low on his chest. Um, "Ugh, hello, have we met?"
Uh, not quite. And he kind of offers a kind of light bow. I We haven't officially actually met.
Ah, you're with the inventory party that took care of the imps some time ago, yeah?
Yes. You told my friend Ren something, and it's kind of been weighing on me kind of recently. You said that father was watching over me specifically, and yesterday, something kind of happened. One of my friends left, but someone kind of, I guess, how much do you know about ASMR?
Stops and thinks for a moment. Let me start off by saying uh, apologies for the loss of your friend. I can see it is troubling you. What I know about the ASMR is slim, about what everybody else knows. Some say they are an ancient race fallen from the heavens. Why?
It, so I have a friend who's kind of been with me since I was like a kid. He's kind of been not really present per se, but he came yesterday for the first time, actually really seeing him, and he offered to go with her, which I was very grateful for. But he kind of borrowed something from me, a kind of ability I had, and he told me that my friend that my friends needed me more than I needed them. However, given the current circumstances, I'm kind of seeing the opposite. I mean, one of them is so intelligent, he's created a giant monkey thing. One can basically turn into a dragon. Another can heal you with food. Another has this his like he's like me, but his power is like amplified by like 10. And another person can speak with their mind, among I'm sure other things that I don't know about. And so frankly, I'm a little lost because I don't do any of that. I'm what my master once he had a term for it. He basically said it's a term like called a gunslinger. I shoot things. That's what I do. So I don't see how they need me more than I need them, because I think it's quite the opposite. So I'm at a bit of a loss. So I thought maybe you and your grand wisdom might have something to some light to shed on that.
You just hear him giggle a little bit. "Well, I don't know if I'm that wise. Sit, my boy."
Sits
Kind
very
of
quickly.
plops down next to you. Kind of like winces a little bit as he sits. An interesting thing. You could see it as two ways. First, a lesson. If what he took from you was so important, maybe it wasn't really what you needed at all. If you're willing to give this up for your friend, see that as more powerful than any of the things you've mentioned that your other friends can do. That's called courage.
I mean, I guess I just.
Or it could be some sort of a test. Maybe that you relied on these things too much. And now this friend of yours, as you called him, is testing you in a way to make you prove that you do not need these things at all. Have faith.
I'll try. I just, for the first time in a very long time, I don't feel like me.
We all go
Just
through change. We all find new friends and new things. Sometimes feeling lost is only the beginning of the journey to finding who you truly are. See it as a new beginning.
I'll try. But if I could ask you just another question about the Ilmater. That's the father you were referring to, right?
Let me ask you a question. Was it?
I don't know.
I think you do. I'm the one that does not know. But it seems the only reason you may be asking this question is because you doubt that that is exactly what I meant. That doubt means you know something that I do not. Have faith in that.
I will. Thank you. I apologize for coming so early. It's just, I just felt like it's a conversation I need to have by myself. And my friends, they're growing on me. They're great, but I still keep a lot of stuff from them, and I think I just want to keep this from them too. That's all.
They are truly your friends. You must learn to trust.
That's the thing. I feel I can trust them, but if they know truth, it could potentially put them in danger, and I can't let that happen.
You say you feel useless. I feel you have much potential, also a lot to learn. You've done a lot for them. Sounds like a lot that they don't even know about.
Maybe, I guess. Thank you very much, and thank you. He kind of stands up and he leaves.
Goodbye, my boy.
Bye. And that's about all I wanted to do.
He's
And
walking
that's the
back
time
into
I'll be
the inn.
helping. Yeah.
As he's walking back into the inn. Hey guys, to check out this cool rock I found. Look at this thing.
That is a great rock. Why do you
Alright.
have a rock?
I just thought it would look cool. That's all.
It's a
That-
rock.
The pet
I
rock.
tried telling
You
him he
know
wouldn't
what
skip
Ad-
for shit. He doesn't listen.
And you know
I think it
Atlas
would.
would have been so excited for that rock.
For real.
As he
Anyone
steps
else
in,
want to do
if-
anything? Go ahead. Sorry.
he'd buy. I'm sorry. Just as he steps in, anyone of his party who's down there, he would have bought like breakfast for or a drink or something like that.
Only cost you about like a silver piece for all
All
of it.
right, silver piece. Bye. Done.
Anyone else want to do anything specific solo?
Yeah, but Liam, you're first though. You got stuff.
Yeah, I had a couple things. So since this is going to be a bit quicker, I'd like to visit, or I guess check in with the herbalist.
Okay, Castillo,
Yes.
what are you looking for in specific?
I guess just to check in, just to see how she's doing, and to see if she has any other weird, odd, not very common herbs or plants, spices available.
Let me check. I don't know if I have any odd plants or anything, but I did concoct this. And she holds up a what looks like a crystalline vial, with a silver cap on it. Call it Fibster's fluid. It comes from a rare plant, rather bitter, but
What's
could
the
make
plan?
you the
Go ahead.
Fibster.
Yes, I
Comes
would.
from a place, I believe, near the eastern parts of the realm. The man who sold it to me said he got it in the Underdark, but the potion I made said he could, oh, do a couple different things. Um, Specifically, could make you a little bit more deceptive or misleading. Make your lies really, really deceptive. Oh, it may
Hmm.
stain your tongue purple for a time.
Seems distrusting. Would that be good in food?
Potion? No.
Oh, but you drink it though.
Well, yes, but I wouldn't put it in anything. It would lose its potency.
Oh, good to know. Okay. Hmm. How much for it? Seems
It's
weird.
first of its kind. Probably for you lot, 50 gold pieces or so.
50 gold. Oh wow. That sounds like a lot. Hmm. I don't think I have that much. Hmm. Do you have any more of those chilies?
She kind of looks up at the ones hanging on the wall. Bushel of them, so about 10.
Can I have those? I still like the sound of the potion, but chilies seem more I think the word's practical.
Sure, sure. 5 silver pieces.
Okay. And I'll hand over 5 silver pieces.
Change you a bushel of 10 chilies.
Coolio, coolio.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask, I guess, another thing. Now that I think about it, the plant you gave my friend Adlith, what is it supposed to be? Like, what happens? Is it like chilies or the plant for the potion, or is it something else?
As I know, it grows. Just like chilies. Yes.
Okay. Hmm. All right. I might be back for potion. I'm not sure. I have to. Hmm. But thank you for time. Glad to know you're doing well.
Yes, it was good seeing you again.
Egg.
Yes. Egg. Yes, egg.
You can call me If it's easier, you can call me Stew Season or Stew, whichever one you like's better. It's my nickname.
Egg is easier to remember.
Okay. Hope you have a good day.
Goodbye. This awkward
Um,
giant. You can tell she's kind of uncomfortable around you.
um, and then what I might end up spending then the majority of my time doing is trying to fix the crooked arrow shafts that I made, and if that happens not to be possible, then just to try to remake them using my woodcarver's tools this time. Maybe that might help me out.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a tinkering check. Make it a dexterity. This point.
Okay. I was gonna say, and this is with proficiency, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. There's that plus. That's a 16 total.
16. It's easy to do. Probably spend half of a day doing so. They are now usable arrows. If you would like to do so, or use them as such.
Okay. Um, Probably during that time, at least for like a day and a night, I would not. After having to go to the herbalist, I would just go to task with having just to make the arrows, or remake the arrow shafts, and I probably would spend a day and then a night just kind of outside of town. I wouldn't go back to the inn just
Okay.
for some space, and then eventually I would come back, and then I guess, of course, I'd like to talk to the party about the potion, but eventually it'll come up. So that's kind of everything.
Okay. Calder.
Cool. 4 things on the dock. First one, I'll say probably the first night after, like the day Adleth left, I'll kind of go off on my own, try to find somewhere quiet to just kind of sit down and look up at the stars. And intending to sort of reach out to the woman with the silver hair.
Okay.
This Zaphin. He called Castus our brother. I know Castus and I are alike. We've worked that much out, but is it more than that? Or are you and Zaphin alike? Do you serve the same cause or power, and by extension, do we? Did it mean Castus and I are more like the two of you than we think we are? I so desperately want to know more about you, and then I think about what we're trying to do here. This Black Star Gate. This being they want to release the possibility of other cracks and rifts to the outer planes across the whole region. And how impossible the task seems for our little group of misfits. I know it needs to be stopped, and I'll die trying if I have to. I don't know if we can pull it off. I just hope I'm doing the right thing. And I hope you're with me.
Give me a perception check.
14.
14. As you kind of finish up your words, nothing really resounds in your head, but you look up and you see a beautiful, very bright shining star, or shooting star that goes just across the night sky.
Ain't much, but I'll take it. And get up and head back to the inn for the night. Next day, I first went to see if I can locate the fortune teller that was there in episode 1.
Okay.
During the festivities.
Give me a investigation check.
That'll go great. 10.
She's nowhere to be found.
Fuck.
Rumor is the night of the attack, she packed up her things and made her way out of town.
Damn.
No one has seen her since.
Then, barring that, I will make my way to the temple to talk to my Stell.
Guess should all just went there together.
Yeah, I know, right?
Or it as singular things. Okay. You were entered, or allowed entry into the temple, where my Stell sees you in the main, chamber of the temple. I just saw your friend not too long ago.
Oh, yeah? Which one?
The shaggy-looking one. Get his name.
Castus.
Estes. That's correct?
Hmm.
That's correct. He kind of
No,
takes it
doesn't
in.
surprise me.
How can I help you?
Well, you're a holy man.
Your friend called me a man of great wisdom.
I don't know if I know you well enough to know that you have great wisdom, but I'm hoping you at least have some knowledge.
Can we please make this quick? I do have a boat to catch midday.
Well, listen, some time ago, last we were in town, I told you a bit about how I had dreams, saw things that led me here. I had another while we were away. I wondered if any of the things I saw might ring a bell as far as other deities or high powers that you're aware of. Saw black sand beach, suns, eclipses in the sky, figures in silver robes, a woman also in silver robe with silver hair. She's the one who spoke to me.
Yeah.
Silver fire with darkness at its center. Any of this ring a bell?
Unfortunately, it does not. But the gods do present themselves in many a different fashion. I'm sorry.
Well, thanks anyways, I guess.
Before you go, before another one of your party decides to show up here alone, bid them farewell for me. I do want to give you a thanks once again for what you all did in the center of town a week back. But I'm leaving for some time, heading back to Ombatar. I have some business I need to finish there. Being called away. The brothers here will take good care of the temple, but I will not be here for long. Though it is a beautiful place. Kind of looks up at the stained glass and the rafters.
They sending you away, or is that by choice?
It's more of an order. The brothers and I failed in our task of keeping the materials here safe. I'm being recalled back to the city to serve the rest of my time in the Tower of the Order. I do not know what tasks I'm to be assigned, but I know that I'm no longer needed here.
Well, good luck to you then. Hopefully things go well. And I stand up and walk to the door and kind of wait for a minute, look back over my shoulder. You still have that stick that lets you see people from far away.
It's not the stick, my boy. It's the power of Ilmater.
Can you do that?
Of course.
I walk back over and sit down in front of him. Do you just need a name or more than that?
It's easier if you have something of the possessions. A mere description may be a little bit more difficult.
Ava Ashsinger. She's half elf, a little older than me, dark hair, very beautiful.
That's all you have.
I'm afraid so. We didn't part on the best of terms.
I will try. He kind of sits down next to you. Closes his eyes and puts his hand over top of the purple gem that sits on top of his walking staff. You see it pulse with this purple glow for a moment. He breathes deeply. She's by the sea. On a boat. Seems happy. Also worried.
Is there anybody with her?
His eyes open back up at that point. This spell has limitations. Can only really focus on a single individual. The surroundings are blurred.
Let's see. Well, thank you. And I'll get up and head out. Besides that, unless anybody in the party needs me for anything, I was gonna go and just offer my services to Sheriff Pov for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
See if he needed help wrangling any dastardly folk.
Does Calder practice like mornings or evenings with his sword?
Rarely. Once in a while, you might find him fiddling around a little bit, but from what you've seen, he's like his fighting style is trained, but there's not a ton of finesse. He's a man who's very clearly learned how to fight by like wielding his stature and strength against other people, just like straight overpowering. And he typically he goes at it with fairly reckless abandon. Like he doesn't guard himself super well. He just takes whatever punishment he gets along the way.
Well, Isaiah might bring up in the morning just for like a half hour. The old bones could use a little shaking off of the rust. Do you mind giving me a hand? And I'll take 2 sticks that are roughly sword length.
Yeah, if you don't mind a few welts.
You wouldn't do the first time.
Yeah. Get in some sparring.
Yeah, try and work out all those kinks.
Cool. Whenever you do, get in contact with Pav. No bounties or anything like that. I mean, he may recruit your help just to kind of keep watch on the town, because he does inform you the mayor is also on a journey to Orbitar. She's been called away to the city specifically to answer for the events that had happened here. But she did leave you all something special for what you have done for the town. It was 350 gold pieces each.
Hey!
Whoa.
A note was
Nice.
left, a note of thanks. She tells you that this is from her father's special reserve, left over from his rule here for some time. I was hoping that none of you were going to visit the mayor's office. Greedy, hoarding, dragon like DM and keep all of the money myself.
I'll take that then, and on my way back to the party, I'll put 200 of it in my boot, and I'll give 100 to Redrick. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so you all get a reward of 350 gold pieces for completing.
Fuck yeah.
I'm constantly looking at
Yeah.
everyone's boots. I know that trick.
You see me walking back with this like massive
Just
tumor
like,
on my
"Oh."
boot, just jinkling.
So he does tell you that he kind of shows you his worry for the mayor, not really giving you an exact time period of when she may come back. Things were kind of looking grim with the order in her before she left. It was kind of sudden that they commanded her to return to Orbitar with the 4 individuals that had arrived in town. She left with them. Is the mayor's current status.
Okay, I'll pass that along to the group too when I bring the coin back.
Okay.
That's me.
Ren, do you have anything
Just-
specific you wanted to do?
Just a couple little things. After Calder comes back with the gold, Ren will go in search of some studded leather armor.
Easy enough to buy.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So I'll get that. I'll spend the evenings kind of like, or well, I guess I'll probably hear from Redrick that Cade's is closed up, so I'll just hold on to the scrolls and stuff for now. And then I'll kind of spend the evenings kind of like cleaning and repairing my clothes and my gear and all that stuff from the trip in the into the woods, and I'll do some of like the sewing for any mending downstairs in the tavern and just see if I overhear anything interesting on some of those evenings.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, not great. Let's see. That is a 13.
Okay, a 13. You do pick up on some rumors throughout the night, the few nights that you spend here. The only thing that kind of perks your interest is there are definitely talks of more attacks and sightings of monstrosities throughout the roads, especially heading south. Things that people are pretty much either frightened of, that they're so frightened of that they can't explain what they are, or there's very vague descriptions of things. People are definitely talking about staying away from the Chondlewood, even if the road winds near it in any way, shape, or form. They are to, stay very, very far away. People disappearing, attacks on small villages and trade settlements. There's chaos, definitely.
Okay.
Spreading throughout the small little region here.
Okay.
That studded letter will cost you 45 gold pieces.
Alrighty, thank you.
And did somebody, Isaiah, was it you that said you were looking for something for magic? Like a magic shop? Didn't you message me that?
No. I suggested that Bren could find. I didn't know if there were any sort of magic shop, so she might have to go to Cade to sell the scrolls.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I'm gonna guess from just the general fear of magic in this area that there aren't any magic shops, but I'll spend some of my time during the days just like walking around and see if I see anything along those lines.
Give me an investigation check.
uh, 9.
A 9. With a 9, it's hard to tell just from looking around. One person that does age you a little bit is Castia, and tells you that if anybody in town did have anything like magical per se, it would be kind of faint enchantments. Would be this is Primrose, has a shop two or so buildings down from hers.
Just like faintly magical things, nothing in the same category as like a fucking scroll.
You're not too sure, but all she says, if there was anything faintly magical within Elbulder, it would be from Primrose.
Okay. All right, I'm just gonna hang on to that knowledge for now. The last thing that I want to do, just on the evening, on like the third evening before we're expecting our new guest, she's just gonna kind of slip out of the tavern sometime probably around like 10 or 11. Not sneaking, but definitely trying to like be unnoticed, like keeping in mind that they've been watched by multiple people the whole time that they've been here. And she's just gonna go on a little stroll, and she's gonna swing by Castia's, not go in, and like this is late. And she just wants to find kind of like a little nondescript spot somewhere on the building, not super noticeable, like probably lower to the ground, to in Elvish write, "I am king." And when she goes back to the inn, she's going to do the same thing on the inn. And that's all.
Okay.
With that added gold, could I put like 50 in the pouch I send off instead of 20?
Sure.
And I eventually would have probably bought the potion without saying anything. Like, I talked to everybody. I have money. Thank you. And just dipped.
So I will give that to you. End of the session, but I have it here in front of me. I just don't have them typed up on Roll20. This is what is called Fibster's Fluid. But as an action, you can essentially drink it. It's purple fluid, and it lasts for an hour, in which you will have advantage on ability checks that you make to try to deceive or mislead another creature, like deception checks, essentially. But yeah, it stains your tongue purple for the duration.
Cool. Great.
If someone else notices the discoloration, it just takes a perception check for them to notice that your tongue's purple, and you maybe like have a potion affecting you, essentially.
All right. Sounds good. Cool.
But I will get that written up for you guys. That's 50 gold pieces.
There it goes.
And there it goes.
It's like I've got a hole in my pocket. It's great. Not fully understanding the concept of money, but there it goes. No, not add. Get rid of it. God damn it.
See, he really doesn't understand.
Not at
And out of
all.
character.
Anything else anybody wants to do?
There was one thing I forgot because it wasn't written on my shopping list. It was on my activities list. Anyway, I need to go to Isaiah's room, just like knock on his door while he's like forging away, probably.
Yeah. Can I help you?
Yeah. I got this dagger, kind of a piece of shit, right? It doesn't matter. Do you know any other languages besides Common?
Well, anything in particular?
It's something that looks cool. Not Elvish. Anything but Elvish.
Oh, let's see. Goblins don't really write as often, but I know some Dwarvish. Can probably put a few runes on there.
Perfect. Yeah, can you just write the Dwarvish word for death? You can just like carve it in a little bit. Doesn't have to look good, just quick.
Yeah. Oh. Is there something we should know? This
It's a gift.
this is starting
Gift
to
for a
look
friend
like the
back
kind of
home.
this is starting to look like the kind of gift you give somebody you're threatening, not
Oh no,
somebody you
nothing
care
like that.
about.
He just when he knows it says death, he'll think it's awesome. That's all there is to it. Promise.
All right, I'll see what I can do. And he will chisel in some dwarven runes for death, but the coolest ones he could imagine, and give little flourishes, of course.
Perfect.
And while he's handling it, he probably fixes at least a little bit of the blade.
It is a piece of shit.
Sets the handle a little better. Yeah. Well, here you go.
Perfect. Did you fix it up?
I had to. If I touch it, it's got to be better than that thing you handed me.
I owe you one. Should I pay you? Do you need? I have gold.
Take it. It's fine.
All right, understood. Appreciate it.
No problem. Just remember this next time there's somebody trying to kill me.
Certainly. And if it happens, it won't be with this dagger. I mean, I hope. And I'll just walk away. And yeah, I'll send that along with them and add like a P.S. The dagger means death, or like the dagger, the dwarvish mean the runes mean death, something like that. I even cross it out 3 times because I say the wrong thing.
You even had it right?
I do,
Okay, just making sure.
believe it or not.
Burn.
Anything you guys want to do as a group?
I mean, the closest would probably just talk to Ren and Calder, but that's probably a long conversation. We can do it at a later point.
We have a quick dance party.
I was gonna suggest it, but you beat me to it.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I'm always thinking about a dance party.
I'm honestly just surprised I'm not kicked out of the inn yet. At this point, this has got to be a record.
Pipser's fluid is now
Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
listed under our items there.
Isaiah probably spends at least a half hour every morning fixing whatever it is Redrick broke the night before when he was drunk.
There we go. That explains it.
So, anything else?
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
One moment.
So, how was everyone's day?
Good.
Oaken.
Great.
It has been quite the journey to finally arrive at this small, rather disgusting town of Elbulder. Though you've been doing really well keeping out of sight of most of the travelers on the road heading towards this this town here. You've probably been here for about a day or so, early, taking notice of the people in the area itself, keeping out of sight, maybe even staying out of town to avoid prying eyes. So, you know that the group that you're supposed to meet is located somewhere here. It is now night. You can see the town is lit up with all sorts of different torches. A light drizzle kind of falls on the streets of Elbulder at this point, leaving the cobblestone streets wet and slippery. Most of the individuals that you saw kind of working their day to day are inside their homes. About the 50 or so homes that are inside gated walls here of Elbulder. You know that the favor that you were asked must be accomplished. So, where do you want to start? If you would like to explain your character for us, that would be a good place to start, I guess.
All right. So, walking the streets is a beautiful elven woman, clearly full elf. The ears are long and kind of go back a bit. She's short. Um, she's wearing small heels that click on the cobblestone as she walks, but she is maybe 5 foot in these heels. She has fair snow white skin that tips a little pink at the tips of her ears and over her nose, and her hair falls just past her shoulders in natural white waves. The most striking thing about her is her eyes, which are a vibrant red color that kind of glow in the dimness of the lights at night. She's wearing long, dark blue and black grayish colored robes that come into a turtleneck and kind of fan out in like a cape behind her as she walks. Um, Perched on her shoulder is a cat, but it's not a cat. It currently has a wing extended over the top of her head to keep the rain from falling on her. It's a gray patched tabby cat with the same matching eyes that Belkin has. It meows at her, and she kind of tilts her head to it a bit and ponders for a second and says, yes, I think the inn would be a good place to start my search for these individuals. She reaches
Man,
a
I'm
hand
gonna
up
be
and
playing
scritch.
cats all
Yep.
this entire campaign. This is the most I've meowed my
Cat
entire
themed
life.
campaign.
Any of us who dies or has a character leave, you have to come back with a cat.
Yes.
That's a good challenge. I'm in.
Canon.
To be arranged.
She
Or as a cat to Baxies.
Yes.
Ooh.
She lifts a hand up to scritch its chin and kind of looks around. She's been here for a day or so she probably has surveilled, and it's pretty easy enough to pick out what an inn looks like in a town as small as this. So she'd probably head over to the door, and she takes a second because she's going to be coming into view for the first time of a group of people in a long time, and she gently pushes in the door, the chime ringing above her to signal her arrival.
Yeah, so as you arrive at the happy home, it is, I don't want to say it's packed, but it's definitely has patrons inside of it enjoying their evening. As you open it, the door, you hear the bell, ting, ting, ting. Everyone kind of turns and looks at you, and you can see a flash of lightning kind of strike as you, Velcom, kind of walk in. Any of you that may be downstairs at this moment, probably all of you, it is the third night, kind of recognize this character. One gentleman whispers over to you, Redrick, "What is that?"
You really
hello?
asking me?
Can I help you?
The small elven woman turns the red gaze towards the man. It's the one working?
Yep.
Hello. She'll click her heels across to him and hold out a hand. I'm Velkin. I'm here looking for some individuals.
Would any of us hear that?
The whole entire inn is quiet and is now eyes focused on Velkin.
Well,
Except for maybe like Isaiah's upper.
Isaiah's got like leaned over the table and is doing a little carving.
All
in
you
his
hear,
back.
all you hear is ting 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 ting.
Think you're looking for us?
Yeah, you're looking
I
for
nudge
that.
Isaiah.
Oh,
She
yeah.
turns on her heel to look at the group, and you see the eyes skim over those that are downstairs, and she
Just at this point, the bartender leans into you, Ren, and says, "This one's going to cost you extra."
What do you mean by that?
Your group's one is already an oddity, and now you're attracting more. It's bad
Just
for
one more.
business.
We weren't going to
More
be
is
here
more
for
than
very
enough.
long. It's just a night.
Extra.
Just one night if we promise
Persuasion
to leave
check.
tomorrow. That is a 15.
Well, well, if you want to meet in the rooms you rented, please. You're making it
course.
awkward in here. Kind of yells out to everybody.
Yeah, no, private party, guys.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
Here, I'll help you carry it.
Vilken kind of folds her hands in front of her. The cat creature hops off and probably goes over. Is Castus's cat in the bar?
Is Draco still running around?
What's funny about Draco, and then I guess I'll bring this up to all of you now. He doesn't seem to appear very much, except whenever like Cassus is having downtime. Whenever Cassus seems to be working on something or like fighting or doing some sort of busy work, the cat is nowhere to be seen. But like sitting at the bar, kind of sitting next to Isaiah or eating dinner, you'll see Draco appear. Almost out of thin air, and just sit himself on his lap or near him. And at this point in the night, yes, Draco is there. You see this cat kind of walks up. Draco hisses, and they both just kind of like stand off for a moment, and are just kind of pacing back and forth at one another before it flies back and it lands on your shoulder once again.
Be nice, Yorns.
Sorry, he gets grumpy sometimes.
That's fine. Thank you, though. I'm sorry to cause any unrest here, but please lead the way.
All right. Guess we head upstairs.
All right, just head on up.
I'm gonna whisper to Isaiah as we start heading up. I made some food. I heard party.
I don't quite think it's that kind of party. Maybe we should see what they have to say. We don't even know if they're nice enough to deserve food yet.
But okay.
After the talk, then we'll have food.
Okay.
You guys lead her to the room, one of the rooms that you guys have been staying in past couple nights.
Yeah, Velkin follows, and once inside the room, she takes the opportunity to look over the group. You see the corners of the mouth twitch up into a small smile before returning to a rather neutral appearance. She says, I was told that you were all a colorful group. They were right. And she looks first to Redrick. You see the red eyes kind of are focused on the draconic half of his features. She doesn't comment on it, but you do see the gaze linger for a minute as she's trying to piece together what it is and like what you are, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of you at this point notice in sort of the brighter, closer space as you're now kind of right up in front of this individual, these bright eyes really glimmer, these red eyes glimmer with the the lantern light that is lit in this room. The skin is, though pale, it definitely has this shade of purple to it, to her face, but the eyes really contrast to this her beautiful coloration to her skin. You see this white hair kind of flowing from underneath a hood that she was wearing to keep the weather away from her.
They're a different color, but you said her eyes kind of glimmer. Does that have a similar vibe to Calder's?
Not really.
Okay.
The hood comes down, and you can see hanging from these large pointed ears are these earrings that are large and circular with a sort of spiral to them. And there's a bit on it that rotates with a little soft clicking sound, which she seems to be accustomed to. And I'll mention this to Castus because you have one. You see from a pocket, just like under her coat, you see a little chain that resembles a pocket watch.
He kind of looks at it, and he really kind of wants to take a look at it at some point, but he just kind of just admires it from a distance right now.
Her eyes skim over Isaiah, human. She's taking in everything. They glance up towards Eggball. She nods. Over to Calder. Pauses again. You see the eyes narrow a bit at the gray skin with the red hair. Does she know what he is?
Give me I would say, a history check.
Ask him.
Yeah,
What are you?
Ooh, 14 plus 7.
definitely not a drow,
Not
but
drow.
it's hard to tell what he is. He looks human, but with a very gray tint to his skin.
You hear in your head,
Uh-oh. I got more than one now.
what are you?
I think back. You can hear my thoughts then.
Yes, read them. No, just speak.
You see him shudder just a little bit. I'm not sure I'll ever get used to that. Well, I've been mistaken for many things. Drow.
You're certainly not a drow.
No, I'm not, but many thought I was. Human. I guess I mistook myself for that for a long time. But no, I've come to learn I'm something different entirely.
And that is?
Maybe for you to find out.
Going to make me research. Very well.
So are we just gonna sit here staring at each other, or like, are we gonna the black gate? I mean, like.
Sorry. Lastly, she looks to Ren. My, aren't you beautiful? And she reaches forward, and the hands reach for your ears.
Kind of flinch a little bit.
Elvish.
From my mother, yeah.
What kind?
My mom, she was, I don't know, she was just an elf.
Very well. Sorry for the delayed introduction. I'm Velkin Dalmia. I've been sent by a friend that I'm sure you have all met, a bard, to aid you on the next part of your journey.
Can I roll an insight check on it having to be a bard?
No, a bod.
Oh, I'm sorry, a bod. I thought you said a bard, and I was like, what? Hold on a
Sorry. Honestly, that could totally be a character because Kate can't really do a thick accent. Velkin has a very thick accent. It can be kind of hard to understand her sometimes.
You're doing
No,
well.
it's great. Yeah, it's great. It's
Oh,
great.
thank you.
What sort of help can you offer? We were
I know
told you
we're-
had information at least.
I am to act as a guide for you. I know where it is you all have to go. I know what it is you have to do. And I am to aid you to the best of my abilities.
And where are we going?
She reaches into, she opens up the cloak and she reaches into the pocket and pulls out a letter and she'll hand it to Castus. On it reads, "It's time to return the favor. Group housed in Elbulder. Aid and search for the Black Star Gate. Lead them to Hard Castle and south to the Rift Lake within the Rift. Here is where the remains are. Stop those trying to open it in service to the Order."
What exactly are those abilities you said you have? Because, shit, we've been running into a lot of violent, heavy lifting. You're going to be able to hold your own.
You see the smile grow for a second. She says, "I come from a place where magic is common. I know it is not well liked here, but it is my expertise." And she snaps her fingers, and time slows. You feel, for a split second, like your body is moving slower than it is, as the surroundings you're trying to take in slow, before she snaps again and returns to normal.
Hmm.
Didn't like that. Didn't like that at all.
All right. Maybe don't. I mean, point taken. I'm glad, but maybe don't use that on us again.
Maybe a warning
It
at
can
least.
It can be helpful.
Yeah. Fair warning then, as Redrick said.
Very well.
Which, better question than how are you helping us? Why? What do you get out of this?
To return a favor. Says right there in the letter.
And what did I do for you?
Rescued me.
Well, all right.
All right. We know where to go, but where do we go? You've given us names, not exactly a direction. Can you point out on a map?
We are to head. Kate has to pull up in her
Southeast
notes.
from
Southeast. Yeah. Southeast of here.
You would know that it is quite a distance away. To get to the edge of the Great Rift from this position, if you were to follow the road to Hardcastle, well, I guess with the Hardcastle first, it would probably be around 460 or so miles. And then from Hardcastle to the Great Rift, another 80 or so.
She tells the group that with exact numbers. Very factual. To the point.
Ooh,
Right.
that's a lot of walking.
That it
That's
is.
really far.
Is there like horses we can rent around here? Because I haven't really been paying much attention to that.
Well, even if we get there, how do we stop it?
All that I have been told is that there are people who are trying to open it, and we are to stop that.
Best way I can think is kill the ones trying to open it, right?
That's how
Works
I
for
took
me.
it.
I mean, there's also taking whatever pieces they're using if there's a ritual.
Yeah, one way or the other. Both. We'll figure it out.
I mean, and something this big, horses aren't a bad idea. Maybe a cart I could sit Ook in and get some work done on the road.
Cart
Maybe
might be a little slower
Pav-
than individual,
maybe
or
Pav
although I don't know if
has,
we could ride.
Maybe Pav can just have horses that we can borrow or give us a discount. You know, we've helped the town.
I will say we're going to be slower than horses anyway. He's not fitting on any horse.
Right. In that case, looking at a map, like the path we're taking, would a cart be feasible?
To get to Hardcastle, yes. The road to the main road from Elbulder, you can take a little bit south. It passes to a smaller town called Torch, and eventually leads to Hardcastle, which is a little bit smaller than a city. I would say it's a large
shit.
town.
We're going through Hardcastle.
That is where she said she is to lead you.
Okay.
Interesting reaction.
Oh,
Noted.
I didn't say it out loud.
Shit.
I probably didn't say that.
Calder's eyes go wide.
And then from Hardcastle, she is to lead you south across the Shard Plains to a place called the Rift Lake, inside what you know, Calder, as the Great Rift. Remnants of the Spell Plague. Just a massive valley. You've never traveled there yourself, but it being so close to Hardcastle, you've heard of it.
You said we're going through Hardcastle.
Yes.
Is that strictly necessary?
Why?
Just asking.
Well, it is the last stop before heading into the rift. It would be foolish to avoid it.
Sure.
Insight check.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm in on that too. I'm insight checking that as well,
Ah, I missed.
if I may.
Damn it.
Oh God.
No, ugh, that's gross. You still won. Insight dog shit.
Too bad you don't have a
11.
potion for this.
8.
11 and an 8.
I rolled a natty 1, so you
Calder's
definitely.
obviously perturbed by hearing the name Hardcastle, and it's obviously that he wants to avoid it.
Yeah, he definitely looks uncomfortable at the prospect of passing through.
Oh, I got some friends in Hardcastle, do you?
No.
I was going to say from that reaction, I had guessed the opposite.
Well, no.
No.
Well, do you have a map? Maybe there's a alternate route, doesn't take the road. If it's that important to you.
Looking at a map, if you were to consult a map, the road itself, the only other way that you would be able to avoid Hardcastle and heading straight to the Great Rift is to go through the Firesteep Mountains, which is kind of the southern border. The road itself, if you were to look at Elbulder, it wraps down around this way and head towards Hardcastle, and then the Rift is kind of down here. If you were to head straight south, you would hit the Firesteep Mountains. You could, if you wanted to, head west. It's kind of southwest. There's a large city in Arlith that you could hit and then wrap the whole way around the Firesteep Mountains and then head east across the Shard Plains, which is a long, hard journey itself. It is a plains, but it is not. You're not.
It's
on the
just
road.
like significantly worse to go any other way.
This is the easiest and quickest way, right?
Yeah.
Out and around.
This is pretty much the road to Hardcastle is the only road that leads eastward. If you would go east any other way, you would walk straight through the Chondlewood.
We're fine. We can. Hardcastle's fine.
Very well, we leave in the morning. All right.
Okay.
Yep. Sooner we're out, the better. Anyone want to go with me? I think we should probably go inquire about horses, maybe a cart for Ook.
Yeah, I'll come. I'll come.
I'll come
Probably
with
some
to
rations. and
bring
stuff.
him so that we could make sure it's strong enough. But yeah, let some supply up then.
Right.
Well, Elkin, it was lovely to meet you. I guess where will you be staying tonight?
I'll inquire about her room.
Okay. Well, have a good night, Calder, Isaiah. Let's go.
Oh.
Good night.
Oh, you wanna see some elf ears? No, now she reached towards Ren. Oh, go inquire with that innkeeper. See how he feels about it.
What about me staying?
Oh no, about his ears. Just ask him about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
very well. I will go do that. And she turns and heads out the room.
God. You're heading downstairs?
Yeah.
Gonna cost more.
Oh,
He his long red hair, that's kind of tied into his tied in the back, and didn't I tell you? Kind of gives you this worried look as you approach him.
Why, don't wish to talk to those of your own kind? She says in Elvish.
You're not my own kind. Listen, my dad was a farmer. I don't know who he slept with. Trust me, I'm more human than anything.
You knew what I was saying, though. You know the
I-
tongue.
I've learned a few bits here and there.
The dragon man. Don't know what he exactly is. Told me I should come talk to you. Talk about it. I don't know. There's not too many of us around here.
Yeah, that one, he causes more trouble than you have coming in here. More drunken nights than I can even remember myself.
I don't go anywhere assuming to cause trouble.
Are you really what I think you are?
What do you think I am?
Don't
Say
take
it.
this the wrong way. A drow.
I am.
You
Shazkai.
just see him audibly gulp.
A special kind of drow. Shazkai. You look different.
He just kind of stunned look on his face. If you want to stay, you can. Free of charge, I promise.
Very well.
You see him like gulp again.
She'll give him a little wave and say, "What room's free?"
Anyone. Your choice.
What did you do? Sorry.
She'll head upstairs and so who lingered? Ren, Redrick, and Egg, right?
yeah.
You sound
Um
so disappointed. Okay.
No, no, I was
Loser,
I was just
though.
like,
I'm not hanging out with that group.
Just passing right by the
Only the three
room.
most interesting ones out of the party. He's like, oh, fuck them. All right.
she'll head up to them and poke her head in and say, "Do you guys know what room is free?"
Didn't think any of them.
Do we know if any rooms are free?
No, other than the ones that you purchased yourselves.
Not really. I mean, you could always, I guess, and she'll kind of like hesitantly look at Redrick and Egg and be like, "Stay with us."
That sounds like an offer to stay with Ren. If you were looking for a room.
There's only 2 rooms. I'm pretty sure I don't have one all to myself.
Well, now I have another person in yours. Have fun with that.
Thank you. That's very sweet of you.
Yeah. I'm not tired yet. I'm gonna go downstairs.
Very well. Have a good night.
You too.
And she'll take one of the beds and get comfy, and we'll probably sit up reading for a bit.
What do the rest of you want to do? Anything in specific?
For expediency's sake, we're looking into horses, a cart, and like rations, I assume, food
Okay.
supply for the journey?
It is not easily required or acquired. But are you looking for a cart in specific? Just a non-covered cart in such?
Yeah, it's something we could carry Ook in pretty much, because if we're on horses, he's not going to be able to keep up on his own.
Okay. Maybe even approaching Pav. To get 2 horses, to pull Ook, because he is quite heavy, and if anybody that would want to ride in the cart itself would cost you 100 gold alone. The cart itself would cost you another 15 gold. So 115 gold total to buy a cart and 2 draft horses.
Boy.
And what about horses on their own?
Horses on their own, like a riding horse.
Yeah.
It would cost you, depending on how many you would want, it would cost you probably between 20 and 25 gold if it's a riding horse to purchase it.
I can cover me and Ook if we want to get one for everybody.
Yeah,
Well,
we probably
I mean,
should.
we all got paid pretty heftily, so I think we all can afford a horse.
Yeah.
If it's just you and Ook, like if you're driving the cart and it's just a singular horse, it would cost you 50 gold cheaper. So it would cost you,
Well,
it's 50 gold per draft horse.
I'd probably get the exercise just in case like somebody gets hurt or we want to put rations or something in there. So
Okay, 115 gold for that entire setup.
got it.
Okay. And then for the rest of us, it'd be 50 gold each for a horse?
25.
25 each for a horse.
Okay.
Okay. So I assume given a little time to communicate and organize everybody buying their own horse. Is that okay?
Velkin cannot.
And
I'll cover you.
is and
I'll
is
get Velkin's horse.
Well, she's tiny. Maybe she could ride with somebody.
That's all right.
Is-
I got it.
is
Thank
there a horse that Egg could ride?
Probably not. You might
Oh.
have to ride in the cart with
There you go.
Ook.
No, that's what I was expecting her just walk. Okay, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So
And-
Actually,
Then, if you want,
Um,
I'll take the horse. You ride with Ook, and we'll.
Velkin might actually comment that she would prefer to ride with someone, as her vision in the daytime is not the best.
You could be in court with me and Ook.
If you buy 2 horses, it could definitely haul, 2 people and Ook easily.
Yeah.
I can help pay for other horse if problem.
Yeah, so why don't we do that? You two can ride with my friend in the cart, and if you'll grab that other horse, Egg, I'll ride on that and Calder. That way, you don't have to worry about buying an extra for our friend here.
Sure.
I'm sorry. How much is one of the horses for
25.
25. You got it.
25 gold.
Bless you. Aggressive.
Thank you.
And 450 miles is like what, 20 days,
Or so.
something like that. So 20 by 7 is 140 rations.
Jesus.
Which can probably be bought for about 3 gold. It's not too much. Unless you're getting
Okay.
something more than just like travel rations. I'd
We-
say here in Elbulder.
We have Egg. It's going to be a little bit fancy, so maybe double that.
Yeah, we'll double it.
A gold
6
each, pretty
gold for
much.
all of us? For enough
For, yeah,
rations?
I would say. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Wait, for each or total?
No, total.
Okay. Wow. Shit.
So it's like a gold each. Everybody kicks in for rations.
Sure.
I'll toss in a gold.
Toss gold.
Done.
Plus your gold, Redrick. I didn't see you click that button.
Toss a gold to your Isaiah.
Yeah, put it to your DM.
And Isaiah's picked up his hammer by now.
Yes. If you would like to do so, you do get a a warhammer. It is
Yes.
made out of like this just pure iron that's very deep and dark. You can tell it's crude, like it's not smooth or formed in any way. It just seems like it's this big hunk of iron on
Yeah.
top of a very sturdy piece of wood. He tells you he did his best with what the materials he had around him when he gives you, but it equates to a warhammer for sure.
Yep. He'll swing it around a few times in the shop, 1, 2 hands playing around. No, this is fine work. I'll make sure it bashes many heads.
I'm sure you will. Seems to get a chuckle out of that.
And that night, I start working on it to make it nice.
Hammering little dents out and working it. Okay.
Oh, but one thing he does pay particular attention to is he starts carving Othir on the head.
Give me a tinkering check. Or smithing tools. This would probably be more like smithing tools.
With what ability?
I would say either intelligence or dexterity, up to you.
All right. I gotta stop rolling into my journal. That's a 7.
It's hard to really what you spend the majority of
Yeah.
your time doing, even this night, is just taking in the idea, right? Maybe even sketching some things in your sketchbook, but getting the process started.
Yep. Okay.
I forget. Who do I share a room?
Excuse me?
So I guess.
I don't think we established who was sharing rooms.
Oh,
really.
okay. Never mind. All right.
If you want to do that now, you can. But I just kind of said that you guys both have 2 different rooms. So
So I guess who has a room? Who would like to have a room with Egg? Who's cool with that?
Sure.
Cassis would share.
I have probably been
Perfect.
sleeping in the bar. As I
So yeah,
do.
actually that's perfect. For some reason I had a feeling that I would be rooming with the 2 of you. So probably when we're all in our at the end of the night, not trying to jump forward or anything. Egg probably would have stayed in the room the whole time, just kind of contemplating, and then as you both kind of like come in and settle in, he'll pipe up. So, hard castles southeast, but Erebars to the west. I would have thought we went.
Yeah, we really didn't know where we were headed, so but I guess Hardcastle's the way to go.
Yeah, apparently, Erebar was kind of the option for if we were trying to figure out what to do on our own. We got lucky with Abad sending Velkin our way. They knew more than we did.
Okay.
Well,
Then?
you've now looking more to Calder. You've been to Hardcastle, right?
Yep.
Sorry. That was your reaction. Is it like here?
Somewhat. Maybe DM Hardcastle is like maybe a little bigger than Elbulder. Is that right?
Yeah. It is. I would consider a large town.
Okay.
Not quite the size of a small city, but it definitely houses, a few thousand people, for sure. It's definitely bigger than here. It has, it just resembles a town more than this place does.
There's a bit more going on, a bit more foot traffic. It's not, it's not what you're going to find in Erebar or one of the other coastal cities, but it's, judging by what little I know where you came from, it's probably more people than you've seen in one place. You gonna be all right with that?
I don't mind that. Our Are the people are people there the same as here? Like,
Judgmental.
yeah. Are they the same?
In my experience, yes. Hard to say if they'll be that way with everybody, the way those in Elbulder have been, but uh, for me, they were.
They might not have much luck. Is the food different?
um, somewhat. Yeah. You probably find a little bit more interesting fare there. Typically, where there's more people gathered, you find more variation.
He goes to just as what I did. He goes to speak and then he stops himself.
And if you feel kind of overwhelmed, Egg, don't worry. We're here. We're not much, but we're here.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't feel overwhelmed.
Do you know if people are if do you know if there are people that can teach there? Or would Erebar be better, please?
Teach what?
Uh I guess what I do.
Cooking? Or
Mm-hmm.
oh. Mm. Um DM, do I know if there's like anyone who would teach cooking?
In
Hardcastle?
Hardcastle, I mean, there's definitely chefs and such. And there's no like school of. There's not a culinary school there, but there's definitely people that are, know their craft, bakers and such. There's definitely people that are experts. No one,
If you could convince someone to take an apprentice, maybe, but usually that kind of thing requires a lot of time. Staying put in one place, tutelage under a person.
What was that word you just used?
Apprentice?
No.
Tutelage.
Yes.
Um, sort of like extended study
It's
on a subject.
it's what I did with Aldous Tinkertop. He was my master, and he well, I'm not the tinkering genius like Isaiah. I do know how to fix some simpler things. And again, he pulls out the pocket watch. Like, I help fix this. I can fix some smaller things. It's just takes time to learn, and so that's what an apprentice is. The master shows the apprentice how to do things, and eventually pick up those skills and perfect them in their own. And maybe when we go through, we won't have the time for you to have that sort of knowledge set, but maybe we can find a restaurant or somewhere, and maybe you can swap recipes. That's at least if you have a recipe, you have something to go off of.
That's
If
what
you
I
got
was thinking.
if you got the trained palate, you might be able to learn a little by eating.
Learn about eating? What do you mean?
Learn by eating.
Oh.
Taste the food, work out
Oh
the
yeah.
flavors, figure out how to make it yourself that way.
Kind of like chilies. Oh, I got more chilies.
Oh,
So
good.
I can try out other
Correct.
things with them.
I'm telling you, steak. You got it in you.
Does steak come in rations?
No.
No, no. Maybe when we're in Torish or Hardcastle, we can maybe have a nice steak one night.
Okay.
Sure.
That's later. Alright.
There's a good butcher in town. You could get some nice cuts.
I was thinking, I guess Erebar made more sense about teachers, but recipes would be okay. If anything, maybe just know some spices. Something new is all.
Sure.
Sorry for keeping you both up.
That's quite
no,
all right.
it's no problem. Hey, Calder, just a quick question. Do you know if the Blades have any sort of foothold in Hardcastle?
DM?
You can roll me a history check.
While we're on it, I was gonna
That'll
ask
go
the
very
same
well.
thing about my group.
Not a clue.
Roll me a history check.
Oh, that's a good roll. A 17 plus 1 is 18.
Your group in specific is spread throughout the entirety of Faerun. If they aren't established there, they've been there and know about it.
Okay,
That's all I can say.
that works. I don't know of any specific
No
things going on.
sects or
Okay,
anything. No. Mm-mm.
gotcha.
Can't say I'm aware. I haven't been there in a long time though, so
Okay, well, that's
things
fair.
might
We'll
have changed.
just keep an eye on the door frames, is all I can say.
Keep
Wait,
an eye on the door frames.
what's wrong with doors?
There are. It's sometimes hard to see. It's never in the same spot. But a lot of times, at least in Erebar, if they would mark shops, so you knew this was a Blade affiliated shop, and so it's hard to find. Basically, you have to know what you're looking for, and even then, it is very hard to find.
I'll
Well,
be
all
right
right.
back, and I'm just gonna get up and I'm gonna go leave the room, and I'm just gonna go downstairs and head outside and just like exit out of like the front, and then just look up at like the door frame and just stare at it
Hey, can
and
you
see if I see anything weird.
Just a door frame.
Is there a particular symbol we'd be looking for, Castus?
Blade.
No, I mean personally, I'm hoping not to deal with any more 5 blades on the way, but
It differs. I mean, 5 blades sometimes.
it's in
Could
the
be a
name
blade.
then. Literally,
Yeah.
5 blades in the symbol. Gotcha.
I don't know. I don't know too much. I mean, I just knew what to avoid and where not to go, and so.
Fair enough.
I'll come back in the room. I didn't see anything weird on door frame. I think we're okay.
Right.
Thanks.
What were you
Andy.
going
Let's
to say,
let's get
Velkin?
some. Let's go sleep.
Yeah, let's get some
Oh.
rest.
Sorry, I don't. Can I ask about one thing?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm guessing it's Ren, Velkin, and Isaiah in the other room.
That's what it seems
Probably.
like. That's who's left.
Frederick's sleeping on the bar.
Mhm.
Okay.
As
Um,
usual.
So Ren left, but Isaiah, does he stay in the room?
He
Awkwardly.
is. He probably spends most of the night in the bar until he's ready to go to sleep because he's always working on something. So he's got to have space, and he doesn't want to.
So Velkin, it's probably you by yourself for the majority of the night until those two arrive. Probably a little bit, deeper into the night.
She's still awake. She trances for 4 hours, so she's probably still up reading.
Yeah.
Because she wants
So
to talk to them.
You both enter the room, and you see the lantern light still lit. And
Oh, actually, there's a little floating orb of light over her shoulder that's shining down onto the book as she reads. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
She looks up when you enter and closes the book, but keeps her hand on the page she's reading, and she says, I have a question for you both.
I probably have an answer. Well, for me.
You both seem like the intelligent types. How much do you know about the spell plague?
Not a whole lot, I don't think, right, DM? Just like as much as the normal person, probably.
Right. You know that this land was devastated by the spell plague. That's pretty much it. The rumor and the devastation that it caused. And the majority of the people, especially of Chondath and Erebar, fear magic because of it.
I mean, I know that it happened, and I know that that's why people are afraid of magic now.
Some breakdown in the weave of what's normal, and a great big sweeping mass of destruction that people now use to light their carriages in the fancier parts of the city.
The blue flame.
Yes.
Alright, so you guys know less than I do. Not surprising, but I was just hoping to see if I could learn anything else.
Well,
And she puts the book up and you can see that it's got, it's a thicker book, but it has, like, spell plague on it. She's been reading about it. Do you know who the god was? Caused the collapse?
not really much of one for religion myself.
Yeah, me neither.
Do you wish to know?
Certainly. Lay it on me.
The mother of magic. It was her death that caused it. Mistral.
Interesting.
When the weave collapsed, the shadow weave also did. The defiled arcane that was left behind is what caused the blue flames.
Defiled arcane. So
The
is it
magic
like?
that was left over.
So is it like corrupted or?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, it's just magic, right? It's just energy. Makes a difference what use you put it to, right?
Well, the magic that it was corrupted. It's what caused the mages that were still around. I was alive during it. The spell plague. But
It's just gonna kind of like wide-eyed, like look at Isaiah, like, is she shitting me? Like,
He is giving a similar look back. Like, what the? Really?
but it didn't affect where I lived, which is why I still have my magic. The mages here that lived through it went crazy, as a simple way to put it, because of the corrupted magic.
Now, if I'm understanding things correctly, I think you're currently working with people who are very invested in this corrupted magic.
Yes, they know the most about it. The Order has very, very unique magic.
And they're not crazy.
She holds up her arm. She pulls the sleeve down. You see nicks. Scars. Along her arms. Maybe their practices are crazy.
We met a
Anyway.
few of them. Saw quite a few scars. That's part of the orders.
Mm-hmm. Alas, I'm tired. She closes the book and sets it aside. I wish you both the best tonight. We have lots of traveling in the morning. Thank you for letting me share your room. I'm always happy to lend knowledge in return.
Um, okay. And like with one last look at Isaiah, kind of like, oh my God. Like she's gonna, okay, good night.
And she just kind of, yeah, she puts the book on the side table and she leans against the headboard, and the eyes close. And Ren, you'd probably recognize she's trancing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes at least a solid hour for Isaiah to get to sleep after that. there's there's an image of somebody in his head, and it's overlaid with scarring and worry. But he is old, and he is tired, so eventually he will fall asleep. But
Meanwhile, downstairs, I'm just like,
Go fuck yourself!
yeah. Go fuck yourself!
Fuck you! As he's walking out of the building.
Yeah, and I imagine it's just like me and the bartender left.
Yep.
Is it still the same guy?
Yep. At this point, he's like feet up on the bar, just resting. At the yelling, he like leans up.
Fuck that guy. I just take my mugs. Me and you again, my friend. Another
Great.
night.
Leans his head back like Calder is now.
I'll wander over to the bar from the table I'm at.
I'm trying to get some sleep. Why is it you and your party are always causing me the worst headaches?
The worst headaches. Never had a better one. I take that as a compliment, my friend.
His eyes flutter open for a moment.
Anyway.
Are you spending another night here? Kind of waves to the bar.
Just get rid of my name? I just when I carved it in here last time. What's that about?
I gotta keep this establishment sort of pretty.
Fair enough. And I'll pull out like a little dagger and start carving again.
Not the kid! And I'm assuming the rest of you are going to sleep for the evening.
Yeah.
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just going to sleep as well. Eventually.
Ren, as you are sleeping this evening, a voice creeps into your mind. A familiar voice.
It's Velkin.
It is Velkin. Little flower, do you continue to run? Farther and farther you go. Closer and closer. You cannot hide. Is all you hear.
Uh,
I wake up in a cold sweat. Your body hot once again. Kind of remove the covers from yourself.
I'm gonna very quietly just stand up and just creep out of the room. And then I'll just walk a few paces away, and then like I'll try to like think out with my mind, and I'll speak out loud. Can you hear me?
You wait. Nothing.
Do I need to hide from you?
You feel a connection. Help me.
Hello?
Help me.
Where are you? Who are you?
Give me an insight check.
Okay. That is 19.
The voice sounds extremely familiar to you.
Is it
One of your
Briar?
siblings.
Is
Not
it
Briar.
Logan? Fuck.
It's the voice of your oldest brother, Logan.
Logan! Logan, where are you?
Nothing.
Logan, it's me, Rose. Where are you? And I'll even
Nothing.
like say it out loud, like desperately, like just, like a desperate whisper, just Logan.
I'm searching.
Do you
Is
have
all
him?
you hear. No answer.
And she'll like do it again, like, do you have him?
Bring him to me.
Who?
Go ahead. Yeah. To the person that's messaging me currently. No response. The voice that you continue to hear, the deeper one, begins to get weaker and weaker and weaker. When it first entered your mind, it seemed very, very present and very powerful, but now it seems very, very distant. Almost as if it's losing strength. 19, you do hear the commotion. First thing that woke you up was, kind of broke your meditation, was the click of their door. But you can hear sort of loudish whispers outside in the hall.
Rose.
I did not say that out loud. No, she only started talking that was
Logan. She heard Logan though, right?
Yeah, she would have heard Logan and then just the last part talking to the tree.
Okay. She heard Logan.
What?
You're calling out for someone named Logan.
And yeah, a dream. I sleepwalk sometimes.
Can I insight that?
Deception check. Yeah, go ahead and make an insight as well.
I got a 15.
I also got a 15.
Damn, roll again.
I only get a +1 to
Rollies.
this, so oh god. Okay, that's a 16. It's one more.
Oh, that's a 14. That's one less. Oh no, wait, it's the wait. So, yeah, no, it's 14. It's one left.
14. Yeah. So she's obviously not telling the complete truth. She seems just extremely nervous at the moment. It's hard to tell if she's like lying per se. She could be sleepwalking, but she obviously, or had a bad dream, but she's obviously not telling you everything. Falcon.
Nightmares?
Sometimes, yeah. The others get them too. You can ask.
I
I'm
get
just
them
gonna
as
get
well.
some air. Oh, I didn't know you dreamt.
Elves can choose to sleep. Sometimes I do, and then I'm reminded why I choose not to.
Oh.
Do you want company?
No. I'm sorry I woke you. I'm just gonna get a little air. I'll be back in a minute. Don't worry about me.
Be safe.
And yeah. And without really, she's just kind of like distractedly, like over her shoulder, she'll just kind of like wave at you. Walk past Redrick passed out on the bar and just walk outside, get a little air for a few minutes.
Nervous, anxious about her going out at night alone. Vulcan opens up the window to the room and sends Eorance out to keep an eye on her.
Okay.
Before settling back in bed and redoing her trance.
The small Tressum takes off. Just kind of lands on top of the roof. Keeping an eye on Ren.
She also probably actually climbs to the roof. Probably doesn't really notice the bird, but she will climb on a rooftop and she'll
It's
just
actually a
spend.
cat with wings.
Oh, the cat! Yeah, the cat with wings. She might notice that.
I might stick out a little more.
Either way, though, she's just gonna kind of ignore it and just spend probably like 5 to 10 minutes like quietly crying before going back down inside.
Aw.
The morning comes to all of you. Breakfast is had, your provisions are gathered, the cart is brought to you at the front of the happy home, as well as the rest of your horses. If you all are ready to go, unless you had anything else to do here in Elbulder.
You all ready to hit the road?
I think so.
Going down that dusty trail.
Alright, dude. Alright, Dex.
It's high noon.
Well, certainly got big important things to do. We might as well get moving on it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else?
Ready as
Think
ever,
we're
baby.
good to
Let's go.
Yep, I think we go.
So, Ook is loaded into the back of the cart, which sinks a little bit at his weight. Eggval, you join the large steel ape-like figure. Velkin, how does Velkin deal with the sun that is kind of up in the sky at the very moment?
She pulls out of her bag a sun hat, black rimmed sun hat, and on her shoulder sits for the entirety of the time as Yorn's. And if the sun shines at a certain angle that like her hat doesn't cover it, it brings its wing out to shield her eyes from it. But Egg would notice for a good chunk of it, she sits with her eyes closed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the rest of you getting on horseback. I don't know if any of you, except for maybe Calder, has experience riding a horse. So the good couple miles, first couple miles of your journey is pretty rough.
If I notice the hesitancy in the in everybody, Calder will like he'll take an interest and try to help guide everybody along to the process.
Isaiah's like that old prospector, like in the Western movies, gets in the driver's seat of the.
You're in the saddle.
There you go. No, not the saddle. You know they have those big long benches.
Oh yeah.
Essentially, he takes the reins and he, it begins to guide the cart. And you begin your journey, finally leaving Elbulder. The gates, whenever you first arrived here, not first arrived here, but the second time you arrived at Elbulder were closed. Now they are open. Seemingly, like the town has kind of resumed to its normal stature and activities because the order has left. So it seems like everything's kind of relaxed here. You don't see any guards posted on the outer walls or anything like that as you leave. Some people give you a wave goodbye as you begin to leave. It seems like the people here have taken a somewhat odd liking to all of you, or at least some of you, spending some time at the happy home with you all. Have kind of gotten used to the oddity that you were when you first arrived here in Elbulder.
We wore them down.
There you go. That's right.
We got him.
Exposure therapy.
Now we attack the town.
But you begin to head south for a few miles until the road turns east. Let me look one thing up real quick.
I will say when we're traveling, after we get a few hours outside of Elbador, Velkin's going to. Egg would notice this. I don't know if the others would because they're probably looking at the road. Velkin raises a hand to her chest and pulls out that pocket watch, and she clicks it. And there's Egg would hear a tick, 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 and with each tick, these lines that resemble half plate form over her body in golden like lines before solidifying and then fading. She's casting mage armor.
Cool.
But this is because it lasts for 8 hours, so she does it once we get like deeper into the road, kind of a thing. She's been traveling for a few days, so she's probably used to the routine of it.
What did you do? What was that?
She peeks an eye open. She did this whole thing with her eyes closed, and she's like, What?
Why did the gold line show up on your skin?
Oh, it's abjuration magic. Protection magic. Keeps me safe.
Can you say that word again?
Abjuration.
Abjuration.
Mm-hmm.
But then why not just call it protecting? Common is weird.
There are weirder languages, but I do agree with that one.
Fancy people like to use big words to sound smarter. Calder shouts from the back.
So the road, well, to start off, the weather has kind of taken a turn, not for the worse, but for the better. It is now kind of getting into the midsummer in this part of the region, the part of Faerun. So the sun is beginning to get warmer and a little bit worse for Velkin, but a lot nicer for the rest of you. The road itself is pretty wide. It probably stands about 10 to 15 feet wide. You do see traffic that would be normally coming from Torch, which is the closest town to Elbulder, heading to and fro. You're kind of heading a little bit quicker pace than these people traveling the road, so they quickly make their way out of your way. To your east, pretty much to your left, as you're following along the curve of the road, you can see the Chondawood kind of begin to push its way towards the road closer and closer as you kind of are rounding the more southeastern direction. The Chondawood kind of sits closer to the road now. Now, this isn't like a built road that you were traveling on. It is just a very large dirt path that you travel. Mainly merchants you see. You don't see any signs of like patrol on the road, so no like enforcement or like police presence or whatever you would call really patrols this area, especially once you get towards the south. The first few days go without any hindrance. It is about on Isaiah. Do you want to do something? You look like you're about to say something.
I was going to say the first thing was I would definitely have grandfather circling as we go, keeping an eye out, make sure there's nothing too bad coming our way. But he spends pretty much every night and time he can get in the cart working with grandfather and Ook to try and get all of those things solidified in there. And is tinted glass a thing?
Like stained glass? Like, what do you mean by tinted glass?
Like sunglasses.
Yeah. That piece of like, yes, absolutely. Like raw tinted glass, yes, is a thing.
Then he would probably spend a little time working on that. Nothing too extreme, but a little set of goggles, maybe. So very nice, very fancy, very delicate work to go with the whole aesthetic. Right. But he would start working on something like that for Velkin.
Cool. Give me a tinkering check for me.
All right. Much better. That's a 17.
Okay. It'll take a few days, but you're beginning to round the frames and get the piece of wiring on looking nice, so you can actually house the glass itself. Eventually, on the third day, you begin to head in a more eastward direction, and you can hear the sound of running water as the Naga Flow, which is the large river that kind of runs through this part, is beginning to get closer. And you see in front of you this large stone bridge that probably stretches for a good 1,000 feet or so over this gap, and it kind of crests at an angle and then kind of goes back down, almost like a little arch. And in the center of it, as you get to the edge of the bridge, you can see at the very apex of this arch, you see what looks like a fire, or like the remnants of a fire. You see smoke kind of billowing from the top. You can't really see anything else except for the top of what looks like some sort of a structure, but it's hard to see from this distance. But the smoke is prominent as you kind of, because it does sit at the apex of this arc, of this large bridge. Anything that kind of maybe causes some hesitation.
Does anyone else see that?
Yeah.
Huge smoking bridge. Yeah. What about it?
Should we just keep going, or should we stop and check it out before we all run into it?
Velkin has her eyes closed. She says, I can send Yorns to take a look. I see better through him than I do my own.
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Give that a go.
Okay. So you're sending.
Yeah, she looks to Egg and she says, "Can I see your hand?"
Okay.
She takes.
You just feel just a bunch of scar tissue and calluses. And, I guess this is Velkin's first time having to take a good look of just entirety of hands just covered in just thick burn scars going at least about halfway up the forearm. Probably with your eyes closed, could be possibly a very surprising feeling at 1st.
Mm-hmm. Hers are very different. Her hands are very small. Her nails are manicured. They're soft. Probably haven't felt hard work at all. She takes your hand and she says, "Thank you." And the Eorns takes off into the air and she opens her eyes and they are cat eyes as she goes into his vision to survey.
Okay, give me a perception check using Yorns.
Yes, no disadvantage. Okay. 16 plus. I think Eorns has a 3. No, he's a +5, so it's a 21.
Good. So with the 21, you see a small campfire set in the very center of this this bridge, next to sort of the railing of the bridge, small stone railing that guides the bridge. You see a large cart, a covered cart. It seems pretty sturdy. It's all black, but the tent that kind of goes over top of it is white hide and burlap. You see an odd-looking mule that stands a little bit taller, almost like a horse, and has this odd, long. Well, what did you say that was 21?
Mm-hmm.
But it looks hairy. It is just covered in all this fur. Is pretty much what you can recognize with a 21. But it just stands larger than a mule. This is all I can really say with a 21. You do see an individual sitting cross-legged at the side of the fire, with this large pointed hat. The point itself falls sort of loosely over his face. You see him holding what looks like a large rod. He seems to be cooking something. Set up right in the middle of the bridge.
Belkin closes her eyes, opens them again. They're her own. And she says, "Looks like someone who picked a rather peculiar place to set up for the night."
Well, head right on then, I suppose. One man.
You guys are going?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's no reason not to say hello.
Wait,
Yeah.
but why?
Just
Why
in case
don't-
there's any trouble, Calder kind of yeah, and like get around to the front.
Oh, but why? Why don't we join him though? It's not too fun eating alone.
Perhaps we'll see what kind of man he is first.
Yeah. We'll say hello. Maybe if reasonable, then we'll get to talk. Too late.
So you guys get closer, and as you kind of crest the apex, you do indeed see the cart. It's standing in front of it. What is supposed to be leading this thing looks like a very large yak. It stands about 6 feet in height. These two massively thick horns kind of sit across its face. Its head is just massive and long, covered in this beautifully like dark black fur. And it kind of just sits there. It seems to be chewing on something. Falcon, you instantly recognize this creature. This is a Roth, cattle of the Underdark, essentially. Is what these creatures are usually used for. Sort of like a chal. The gentleman, seemingly not even taking notice to your arrival, seems to have some sort of meat cooking on a stick that he holds over this campfire. He sits cross-legged. You can tell he's rather thin. His skin is very dark and bronze-like, almost as if like he was a 90-year-old like man. His skin is just super tight to his muscles. He seems very tan. He wears these like trousers, except they're cut off at the knees, and he seems like he ripped them off. He wears boots that are obviously way too big for his feet. They're covered in holes and mud, and just looks like he's been traveling in these same pair of boots for his entire life. You can see this very bright white beard that sits at his face that kind of falls down onto his chest, which is bare, other than this small leather vest that he kind of wears over it. Like I said, a large what I would say is like almost like a wizard cap, like a wizard hat if you think of one, except it's just made out of leather and it has holes and patches all over it, and it sits, and the top of it sits loosely over his face.
Hey, old friend. Any warnings about the road ahead?
Danger ahead.
What kind of danger might that be?
Oh, the road is just dangerous nowadays. Only the most traveled, road-weary adventurers like myself are able to handle such perilous roads. Though the adventuring days are quite far behind me, I am just a simple tradesman.
Oh. You have anything interesting for sale?
See him like kind of tick a little bit. All sorts of wondrous things. Do you want to browse my wares?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure,
we'll
Miss-
take a gander. Can I insight the shit out of this guy while
Yeah, go
we're...
ahead.
And what's your name?
Names. I haven't had a name in a long time. What's my name, old friend? Kind of looks up at his the Roth. Just. What do you want to call me? He kind of looks back at all of you.
Friend.
Friend. Well, that's rather boring.
Trader. How about the Trader? That's a fun name.
Trader.
Daisy.
Daisy.
You guys are not creative at all.
How about...
Call me Luck. How about that? That's what my friends call
I was
me.
gonna go with Ralph, but we'll take Luck.
All right, Luck.
Always use a bit of luck on the road.
What do you have for sale?
And looks it over all of you. Throws the hat back. See these beady little eyes. Look at all of you. You don't look like you have much coin.
Might be surprised.
Cassius looks at the egg and just kind of just shakes, just waves at him. It's like,
Well, one moment. He kind of quickly gets up
What?
with a big spring. Kind of quick, and then You see him walk to the back of his wagon, and he hops back into it. You see it kind of rustle about, and you hear him rummaging through his things. You see something fly out the back, over the bridge. 2 other things fly. Whatever he's tossing out the back is just going right over the edge of the bridge.
While he's looking, I'm gonna do. I'll actually cast normally detect magic.
Okay. I'll at the things that he's throwing off.
No. Just I'll have it up so that when he brings stuff out, I can see if anything's true.
So he brings out what looks like just a large burlap sack. And he jumps down and just quickly runs over to all of you and sets it in front of you. Kind of like straightens his vest.
Oh boy.
First, we have. He pulls out of a bag a little vial. It's shaped like a frog. It has a cork at the top. I like to call this the frog leg fluid. I make it myself. It's let you be all springy and spry like myself. Cause you jump high, run fast. No,
How much?
not your fancy.
Maybe.
I'm curious. What's it made of?
Liquid.
What would you charge
Think I could've
for
guessed
such a wondrous fluid tonic?
75 gold piece.
Calder is gonna cast detect magic as well. Does it?
This is definitely magical.
Is it of a school that makes sense for what he's saying?
Definitely. I would just have to look it up.
It's the school of Lucky. Come on, guys.
It's transmutation.
The school.
Haste, jump, and long strider are all transmutation.
Thank you.
Yep.
So it adds
It's
up.
similar. Yes, it's definitely transmutation.
That's interesting. What else?
Kind of rummages through. Pulls out. I have this. And he kind of shows you this large mug. It has a golden handle, and on it you can see all sorts of different painted creatures having a feast and drinking ale. You see satyrs, centaurs, what looks like little drawings of giants and demons, all sorts of different creatures. This the Badmouth mug. One of my favorites, honestly. It can do a lot, but if you say a specific word, it will let you... how do I say this? If you're ever looking for information, rumors, news, it's you. Just make you feel a little bit more confident, lead you to the right people. If you're ever looking for any information, this mug and the contents within inside of it, you hear it like slosh, this liquid.
How much?
You? How much for this?
Yeah.
Well, 75 gold pieces.
Interesting.
It's reusable, right?
Well,
Is this magical?
it is magical.
Okay.
Same thing, transmutation.
Very interesting.
I have
Anything
lots
else?
of things.
And I smell.
Can I just ask a question? Am I in the right price range, or
I'm almost definitely getting
am I
that
showing
mug.
you this for nothing?
Oh yeah.
No.
No.
Don't be
this is-
buying.
This is within budget. We're just curious.
We want to
Within
look at
budget. Those are
everything.
the words I like. Kind of gives like this.
Oh God, this guy.
Oh,
How about this? And he reaches out and he has this little sack. Go ahead. And he hands it to the closest person to him, probably Calder. Look inside, look inside.
I open it up and look in.
Just clay.
Is clay in the bag?
Yeah,
Is it magical? Is there something magical? Is the clay
definitely
or the
magical.
bag? The bag or the clay?
The clay.
What's it do?
Dump it out!
Dump it out on the ground.
Just all this
I'm-
mud and clay just hits the ground.
I was really hoping it was just clay.
What am I waiting for here?
haven't had to do this one in a while. And he gets down on his hands and knees and he begins to just put his grubby little skinny hands in it. And he begins to make these little figures, little statues. And then you hear him go, 4 of these little knights with these little swords spring to life. Attack! He says, and at all once, they charge you, Calder, these little clay knights, and they begin to stab at your legs.
To these little tiny guys.
Yeah. Sculptor's clay.
Oh.
Huh.
Calder,
This one
watch
would
out,
be
that
little
one's
bit
got a
more
sword.
expensive. Yeah, you just feel.
Is
Calder,
it,
it
like
um,
genuine attacks, or are they just like
yeah, this
to
one
create?
this one hits you, and you take 4 points of piercing damage.
Holy
Oh.
shit!
Oh!
And when I say they're like small, they're not tiny. They're like probably a good 2 feet in height that he made.
Oh, jeez.
Okay,
Good
yeah.
size
As,
action
as
figure.
it stabs me, I kick the shit out of it.
You just see it kind of turn into dust and just fall back into the pile. He begins to scoop it up and just put it back in the bag.
Ow! Anybody want that shit?
Isaiah, that seems kind of in your ballpark of making stuff.
Maybe. I usually like my stuff to hang around a little while longer, but you said that one's more expensive.
Yes.
How much?
250 gold pieces for the whole bag.
That's a lot more expensive.
You could do a lot with it.
Probably.
Oh, he kind of notices Velkin. Well, isn't she beautiful? I have something specifically tailored for such beauty, if you would like to come see.
She'll hop down. I wanted to ask, by the way, where did you get such a creature?
Well, he's been with me my whole entire life. Don't remember where I got him, I just found him. Licked me awake once. Followed me ever since.
Wonderful creature. What is it you
I
had
like-
shown me?
Pats him. My lady. Reaches in the bag, and he pulls out these 2 gloves. Kind of goes, throws them out, and they are actually quite beautiful. The hands are made of this white silk that have flames that kind of run up the side of them. Then they come into sort of like a gauntlet-like material, but it looks like it's made out of leather cloth with these like wings of flames that kind of sit on the side. The gauntlet part is made of this beautiful red and gold inlays and beautiful design. To a pair of these gloves. I don't remember where exactly I got these, but for a princess like yourself, gloves of fire.
Does she... Can I see them?
I guess. Hands them to her.
Can I make an Arcana check?
Sure. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
They are magical, I assume.
They are magical.
12 plus 7.
Evocation.
19.
Evocation. Thank you.
Yeah, plus 7. 19.
Well, you put them on. Snap your fingers. Catches on fire. Just not put that out. You're ruining the surprise. He kind of slaps your hand as the flames dissipate.
Oh, sorry. So I can't figure out what they do? Can't demonstrate like you did with the others?
Looks like some Roy Mustang shit to me. A fella I knew back where I came from. Sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Thanks.
It was a Mustang, not a mare. Nothing like that.
Just his namesake.
All right. Well, some of these things are quite interesting.
Is that all you have?
Well, if you really
willing to spend the coin. There is one thing I'd be willing to give up. This.
And he pulls out of the bag this torch. But the torch is kind of wrapped in this silver cloth. Wraps up the handle. And he says something under his breath. And you see this flame kind of burst out from the top of it.
I call it my mob torch. It can do a lot. But I will tell you, if anything, in my experience, things that cause great fear are frightened of this. If you stay close enough,
Have I ever heard of this?
Give me an Arcana check.
Cool.
What school am I getting?
Let me see.
10, 17.
Give me one moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's abjuration. A 17. You have never heard of this thing before.
And how much is this particular item?
this one itself is 500 gold pieces. It means a lot to me.
What
But
exactly can
if
it
you-
do?
Well, it obviously causes light.
Well, anything else?
When you hold it, let's just say anything that times to charm you or frighten you, that ability could be suppressed.
Kind of gives a twitch.
Things where I came from love to crawl in your mind.
Okay.
This stops them from doing so.
For everybody in our area, or for what the person holding it?
Anybody, anyone, all of your friends.
That could
Okay,
be mighty useful.
And if we happen to buy some multiple things, would you be willing to offer a discount?
Oh, you're planning on buying multiple things, you say?
Potentially.
How much are the gloves?
Gloves I would get rid of for 200 gold pieces.
Would
Even
you-
for me?
Persuasion check.
Mm.
You're a princess. You can afford it.
Ooh, okay, I rolled an 18 on the die. And that's a +2. 20.
You, my darling.
Kind of stops for a moment.
150 gold pieces.
Would you consider maybe a trade? I mean,
Potentially.
it's not quite up to as interesting as some of the things you have here, but we've got a couple small items worth a little bit. Some scrolls, lighter to carry around, easier to transfer.
Can I see them?
I mean, don't go reading them, of course.
He opens them. Rolls it back up. Opens it again. Rolls it back up. Redrick, at this point, you feel something tugging at your belt. Right where your coin purse would be.
I like literally like on instinct, like the claws are out and just like dig into whatever's reaching.
Quickly, the large yak-like Roth pulls back and just...
Stay that away. Better just get that creature under your control.
A trade, you say, then?
Yes, a trade.
You willing to get rid of both of these?
Well, let's consider how much. Was there anything people didn't want in particular?
Did not want or did want?
did not want out of the things he showed us. As far as I can tell,
I'll just kind of repeat what he showed you. He showed you the frog leg fluid.
Yep.
The bad mouth's mug. The sculptor's clay. The gloves of fire, and what he called the mob torch.
And it was 500, 150, 250, so that's 4 and 5 is 9, and the other two were 75, so that's 1,050 total.
Yep.
With Falcon's discount.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, certainly seems a fair bit of useful kit. But this is something we found as a group. Should be a group decision.
Personally, I'm not especially interested in anything aside from the torch, but
I think the mug might come in handy.
I'm
And
kind of
the
interested in the
Mighty
mug.
fine
Yeah.
mug.
Plus, if it gets used up, I was thinking it'd be a very nice present for Atlas with the satyrs and centaurs and what. Get her first drink.
That's a nice idea.
Transmutation was a sculptor's clay, if I didn't tell you guys that.
Can I smell inside mug?
No! Pig.
Why not? What? I don't have.
Show your friend! He looks at you, Redrick.
Enjoy yours.
I'm not pink.
Pig! You stink?
No, there's no call for that sort of thing. Well, let me ask you this. Calder, or Falcon, I don't know exactly where you hail from, but it seems like the next place we might have any chance of getting rid of these is Hardcastle. You have any idea if that's a thing that we could do there, or is this about to be our only option to get rid of these things?
DM, do I recall if there would be like magic related shops? Anybody that would be interested in?
If there are,
scrolls
they're
like
very
that?
slim to none. There may be a few individuals that would be interested in magical objects. There's not like an enchanter of Hardcastle or anything like that. No.
Would I think we would be likely to get much out of them? There, at least.
Probably not for retail cost. If you really wanted to sell those scrolls for what they are worth, you'd have to go to a major city.
Hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't bet on getting, what they're really worth in Hardcastle.
Hardcastle sits in the middle of a large, it is rather rural, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It is a large town, but it's still rural.
Better luck selling them in Air Bar, somewhere like that.
Well, do we want to hang on to them for another 2 months, or
Wait. If you hand me the 2 scrolls, you can take the lot of these things for 750 gold.
Oh, no. These scrolls were in place of gold.
The 2 scrolls together are worth almost as much as your lot. By the prices you gave.
They're good scrolls.
Yes, but you have to find the right buyer for these kind of things.
I mean,
But
they
you seem like the perfect buyer.
Give me a
Sure, you can
persuasion
find
check
someone and sell them. Okay.
with
All right,
advantage.
persuasion, come on. Oh, yeah. Come on,
Actually, hold on. Castus and Isaiah both roll.
Okay.
Sorry.
I did not roll particularly. Was it with individual rolls or?
Yeah,
with
that's
advantage?
fine. Yeah, individual. Just re-roll, Castus.
Oh, even worse. Ugh. What do I talk? Persuasion. That's a 7.
Oh man, I mean, Calder was doing a lot of talking there at the end.
I was trying. I was gonna, but
Yes, I got a total of 3.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah,
I
no
will take
inspiration.
the laughter scroll, and you can have the lot of my things here for 550 gold pieces.
he said he'll take what?
The laughter scroll.
Okay.
Laughter scroll. I don't think that's a very good deal.
That's
Kind of whispering
that's,
over.
Yeah, that's actually not half bad.
Well, it's 550 for the with the scroll. So if we split it, what is that?
50 over 6 is a little over 125 each. No, it's 92 each, roughly.
92 each.
Yeah,
I,
that's the
I
other
think
way.
I think that's fair.
I mean, if we want these things.
I mean, I'd like the mug. I think the mug would come in handy.
And the torch would certainly probably.
Vilkin, you have no gold to contribute. Is that right?
No.
Insight check. 5.
No.
If
I
she
have not
has
rolled
it,
above a 10 this whole session.
it's very little
no.
if she has any. She did contribute her 1 gold for the rations that we did, so she has money, but you can probably guess she's not carrying with much. You can take the gloves out of it. That is the item I'm interested in. It's fine.
Well, if we just want the torch and the mug,
Well, that would be significantly less then, right?
Those should be able to be covered by just the scroll, I would think.
I think.
Roll for the mug. And
just
For
the...
And the
The
torch.
mug and the torch.
Yeah.
What about a
Oh.
little bit of lunch money for your friend Luck? 10 extra gold pieces, we have a deal.
Well, clay would certainly also be pretty useful on my end. How about the scroll and 100 gold for the clay, the mug, and the torch?
Persuasion check.
Got this.
Well, if he's gonna do,
You're
He's
not
making
likely
money.
to find. You're not likely to find many traveling people of means such as us.
Dude, that is double digits. 13 minus 1 is 12.
Hey.
105 gold, and we have a deal.
Petty, but how about it? I see.
That'll do. 105 and the scroll. The laughter scroll.
Hand me the scroll.
I hand him the scroll and take out 105 gold. I make sure to count it very slowly for him, just to be as annoying as possible.
He hands you the little sack of clay, the sculptor's clay, the torch, which he almost reluctantly hands, and the mug hands to you.
Give the mug to Castus and the torch to Calder.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
whoever's gonna have a free
hold on,
handing.
guys. Velkin, go ahead.
Velkin's going to put the gloves back in the bag for him. She'll just put them in.
Okay.
As she does so, she's casting Wrist Pocket.
Ooh.
Okay.
Shady.
Oh,
Very
man.
Up
shady.
the sleeve.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Love it.
Well, their hands are in the
Awesome.
bag. Just like she's setting them in, and it's literally like a snap up the sleeve kind of thing. They're in an extra dimensional plane or something like that.
I'll look it up.
Isaiah, Cassis is giving you about 33 gold to kind of split the 105 you pay.
All right. I mean, I'm not
There you
going to
go.
say no to it.
I mean, it's everybody might wind up using it, so I think it's only fair. So you get
Give me a
add
sleight of
33
hand
gold.
check.
Even in the bag?
Yep.
Okay.
This will give you advantage.
Okay. Okay, first one's a 14. Second one's an 18. And I got a plus 4 to sleight of hand.
Okie dokie.
22.
The gloves vanish.
Wow.
And she's
None of
just
us notice.
Yep.
No, definitely not.
and then she's just gonna go. She's gonna say thank you and go get on the carriage.
Okay.
Whoever would have a free hand during combat should probably hold the torch. I kind of need both to do what I do.
I need a free
Same
hand
here.
to reload.
Sometimes.
If
Yeah,
that
I
is
need
the
a free hand
business
too.
done, I am going to be on my way. And you see him open a little what looks like a gourd that's hanging on the side of his belt. He uncorks it and just glug, 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 pours it all over the water, or all over the water, the fire, and just causes the smoke. Thank you so much. Takes his little stick that he had the meat on, takes the meat off and kind of throws it into the smoldering flames. Gets onto his Roth and
Wait,
Is he
I hope
nervous all of a sudden?
we meet again.
Does he
And
seem
can
like he's
I
Yeah, is
trying
he
to get
being
away
shitty?
real
Wait.
fast?
can
Insight
I
check.
can I ask question before you leave?
no more questions.
Yeah.
Insight.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
shady as
Yeah.
fuck. He's
Oh, y'all totally
like,
got
please.
scammed.
18.
That's a 16.
That's an 11 for me.
He's definitely trying to get out of here in a hurry.
I'm gonna walk up to him real fast. Why are you in such a hurry?
No reason. Good doing business with ya.
Nope.
Just
I'm
let
gonna.
him go.
What? I'm looking at
Listen.
everything. Does it look like he snagged something? I'm gonna
Perception check.
check your pockets. I say.
I'll check mine.
Yeah.
Check pockets.
Yeah, I'll check
Is there a pocket check?
Everyone roll me an investigation check if they want to check your pockets.
Ooh. Okay.
9.
14.
Oh.
19.
25.
Oh.
Damn.
That's an 18 for me.
19 plus.
What'd you
6.
get, Redrick?
19. 18 plus
The
1.
only thing you do notice, Redrick, is that your belt that you use around your pants is chewed through, and is now hanging loosely on your person. Other than
Damn
that,
it.
you all have your corn purses and everything on your person. He begins to trot slowly off. I mean, this thing is just pulling him at like no speed.
Yeah, we can like walk with it.
So we all have all our stuff.
As far as you know.
Well,
That was weird. That was a really weird. It was just
That
weird.
was really strange.
Oh, y'all got scammed. Come on.
Sit in the
That's
back of
amazing.
the cart with Ook
Wait
and
and see what that
grandfather
mug
and start
does.
identifying.
I'm this is what we get on the road. Like we have parted ways from this individual kind of thing. Velkin's going to flick her hand and the gloves. And she's gonna cast Identify on them.
Ooh. You all see, almost out of thin air, the two gloves just appear in Vulcan's hands as she's riding in the back of the cart. And that is where we are going to end our session. So I will type up all these items for you guys and put them in Rule 20. I'm going to put them in D and Beyond for everybody too. So
genuinely
They do
though, who wants
exist.
to hold the torch?
Who
I
has a-
can
No.
sometimes.
I think it should be like you or Redrick because you are mostly front line. So you
all right, we'll discuss
step in,
this. We'll discuss this.
not be moving around.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
But
Um,
it depends on whether you have to carry it or you can just put it down and have it have the effect, right?
Right. All right.
We'll
On our
get
way
tested.
out, a couple
Oh, thanks.
announcements. We have nights off on Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Come join us, talk about the episode, any questions, comments, concerns you might have. You can also reach us on nights off by using the Instagram post, which Liam should get up probably tomorrow morning. Any comments on
Yep.
there, we'll try to answer as well. Check out the Discord. It's new, it's fresh. We want to see you guys in there. We want to interact with you there too. And that's all I got. Anybody else want a last minute announcement? All right.
Congratulations, Joel, by the way.
Yay.
On
Oh,
stream.
thank you very much.
Congrats.
Nice.
Thank you much. Thank you much.
Oh, not next week, but the following week, I will be playing at. It would currently be 4 a.m. right now, so if I'm a little tired for the next month or so, I do apologize. So,
All right,
Coffee.
everybody.
Lots of coffee.
yeah.
All right.
Make sure to be kind, be happy, and love everybody. Have a good night.
Night.
Night.